72-degree day in San Diego. A capacity crowd better than 60,000 turning out at Jack Murphy Stadium for the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Diego Chargers. Last Sunday, Stan Humphries enjoyed one of his best days in the NFL, throwing 4 touchdown passes to lead San Diego over Oakland. And the Chargers made it a record of 3-1, while Steve Bono had another solid performance in guiding Kansas City over Denver last Sunday, and the Chiefs are on an early season roll. Kansas City among the undefeated as they enter Week 5. It's down to Indianapolis, Kansas City, Carolina on its way to losing to Jacksonville, Minnesota losing earlier to the Giants. And that is the setting coming into today. We welcome you. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Sam Wyche. And Sam, all right, here are the Chiefs. They're 4-0. Regular season play. This goes back to last season. They have won 17 of the last 20, but we talked with their head coach, Marty Schottenheimer, last night, and he says he's not satisfied.
Well, the key words in Kansas City right now are unfinished business, and Marty Schottenheimer reminded us that they weren't 13-3. They were 13-4. That 4th loss to Indianapolis in the playoffs. The Chiefs are a team that have been to 6 consecutive playoffs without going to a Super Bowl. The 4-0 start is nice, but there's still a lot of unfinished business in Kansas City.
All right, now, last week, San Diego in a wild one defeated Oakland by the score of 40-34, and they have done it with the hottest pass-catch combination in the NFL. Stan Humphries and Tony Martin, they put up enormous numbers last Sunday.
Arguably the best game for Stan Humphries in his career. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. But how about Tony Martin? Here's a guy that went to Mesa College, was a quarterback, never played wide receiver till he got to the New York Jets and then spent time with Miami. Came here, caught 90 passes last year, and is the main cog in their offense. He's part of the main package. If he's not, he's the outlet on the backside for Stan Humphries.
However, despite the fact the Chargers have won 3 of their first 4 games, head coach Bobby Ross concerned about the defense. They are currently ranked number 30, that is last in the NFL.
Reason for concern, but they're a little misleading. They had early leads in 3 of those 4 games, and in the 4th game, they were getting beaten badly by Green Bay. Remember, though, they're still 3-1.
And this a long-time rivalry that dates back to the first season of the old American Football League back in 1960. Chiefs and Chargers about to meet for the 73rd time. Back in a moment with the opening kickoff. We are back in San Diego where the Chargers have won their last 5 regular season home games. Kansas City won the toss. They will receive a check of the scoreboard. The early games, see the Giants knocking off Minnesota. Jacksonville defeating Carolina, or leading Carolina late in the 4th quarter. Carolina 3-0 coming in, as we mentioned. Chicago moving in front of Oakland 19-17 now. Denver with a 14-10 victory. And how about Detroit over your old ball club, Tampa Bay, now 0-5. Baltimore knocks off New Orleans. Kansas City Chiefs ranking number 28 in kickoff returns. And they're going with the rookie from Memphis, Jerome Woods. John Carney getting set to kick it away. And Woods takes from his 1. Out across the 25. And a good return just shy of the 35-yard line. Brought down by backup safety man David Hendricks. A look at the Kansas City offensive line, one of the solid groups in the NFL. Alt, Zott, Brunhart, Shields coming off a Pro Bowl season, and Sigler. The quarterback is Steve Bono. Marcus Allen, a native of San Diego, with Kimball Andrews in the backfield. Tamarick Vanover making it back after missing the past couple of games with cracked ribs. And we'll see Dale Carter both defensively and offensively. Bono throwing on 1st down, and it was dropped by Vanover. Wide open, Tamarick Vanover not able to hold on. Mims, Lee, Davis, and Coleman are up front for the Chargers. Been a disappointing start for Sean Lee, who had a career-high 8 sacks last season. A look at the linebackers, led by Junior Seau, has been bothered by a pulled hamstring. He says he's all right, though. Willie Clark starting for the injured Dwayne Harper, who is sitting out again with a pulled hamstring. And you saw a familiar name far as Kansas City Chiefs fans are concerned, Kevin Ross, a longtime star with the Chiefs, now in the secondary for the Chargers. And there is the movement. Looked like the right defensive tackle, Ruben Davis. So we'll get a first introduction to the referee, Ed Hockley.
Encroachment by the defense, number 93. 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
And it is Ruben Davis called on the penalty.
Ruben Davis obviously is trying to anticipate that snap count. It's a little early to be anticipating what the quarterback's rhythm is going to be. A lot of times quarterbacks will get into the bad habit of going on one count a lot, and you can do that. Every now and then the center will squeeze that ball to get away with one. Might have happened right then.
2nd and 10 at the 35-yard line. Marcus Allen pushed back by Junior Seau. That prompts the roar from the crowd.
Junior Seau was moving well at practice Friday. Last week he did not move very well. You see Junior right here. He doesn't waste any time on his side of the ball. When he sees the ball coming, he attacks the line of scrimmage and wants to meet somebody on the other side of the line. The heart and soul of this team, offensively and defensively.
And as you say, Sam, last week at Oakland, although bothered by a pulled hamstring, hobbling around, led the team in tackles as he came up with 9 and also had a sack. It's a 3rd down and 4. Play action, and Bono throwing off the mark. Intended for the tight end, Reggie Johnson. Keith Cash, although available, still bothered by a sprained knee. Derek Walker with a shoulder problem was a scratch today, so Reggie Johnson is starting his 3rd game, and that pass was thrown behind him. So the punting unit checking in Louis Aguiar, who had a very solid season a year ago. The one-time New York Jet has not done what has been expected thus far for the KC Chiefs. And that's Darian Gordon back deep. He leads the AFC in punt return average. But this one flies by, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. And that will help Louis average a 59-yard punt by Aguiar. So the San Diego Chargers to the offense for the first time. This is an offensive line that has been shuffled. Did an excellent job last week in the game against the Raiders. Parker, Moton, Hall, Davis, and Bertie. Humphreys, the quarterback. Leonard Russell, a man who's been around, a one-time #1 pick of the New England Patriots. We talked earlier of Tony Martin, who has exploded for 29 catches and 6 touchdowns the first 4 games. San Diego starting out at its 20-yard line. And this is Russell. Leonard Russell, gang tackle. Tracy Simeon, the middle linebacker, involved. An excellent front 4 for the Chiefs, led by Neil Smith, who is hobbled by a swollen ankle. Joe Phillips, a one-time San Diego Charger. Now, when you look at the linebackers in the starting lineup, Derek Thomas and Anthony Davis listed, but both were hobbling and sat out practice on Wednesday. It is a Marty Schottenheimer rule. You miss practice on Wednesday, you do not start. So we'll see quite a bit of Troy Dumas and Greg Maneski on this opening series. 2nd down and 7. A flag is thrown. Humphreys able to release. Incomplete. Intended for Leonard Russell.
And Vaughn Booker jumped on the snap count, just as we saw earlier in the game. Ruben Davis do the same thing. You've got 2 teams in the division that want to win this ball game. 3-1 against 4-0, and we'll take another look as Vaughn is
Offside, by the
Booker
defense.
jumps pretty darn close. He almost anticipated that one right on the money. The offense, as you saw, carried that one out, as they should, because you get a free play when you know you've got a penalty. Flags on the field, and the ball is still in play.
It is a 2nd and 2 at the 28-yard line. Leonard Russell on the delayed draw picks up the first down. For San Diego, it has been a backfield by committee, but right now the #1 man is Russell, a guy who's bounced around. This is his 4th team in 6 years. New England, Denver, St. Louis, and now San Diego.
He's a big bruising runner, and he's sharing a little bit of time, or they're battling for a little bit of time, really, with Aaron Hayden. Both of them want to be in there all the time. This is not one of those where I think they enjoy swapping off with each other.
And a first down at the 31-yard line off the play fake. Humphries looking deep and overthrows Tony Martin, the intended receiver, in a foot race with Dale Carter.
Tony Martin's going right down the middle. The free safety is out of the middle because of the play fake and the rollout. Tony Martin just runs by Dale Carter. Now let me tell you, Dale Carter is maybe the best athlete on this field right now, but Tony Martin's going to be a challenge for him today.
Well, Tony telling us the other day feels that Carter is the best corner in the NFL, but because he has such great speed at times, he can be caught in a lull because Carter always feels that speed can bail him out. Beautifully executed screen for Russell. Gets the blocking, has the first down, and more. A 16-yard pass play.
San Diego gets the lineman out in front of this screen. The last play was a rollout to the right. This time a straight drop back pass and laying the ball at the screen. Watch the lineman coming out here, and the ball will be thrown the screen to Russell. Straight drop back retreat. The quarterback is going to keep his eyes straight down the field, never giving any hint that something's happening behind the line of scrimmage. Now look at all the blockers out in front. Good run. Good start for San Diego offensively.
And a very nicely executed telestrator.
Thank you so much.
Aaron Hayden getting the call, and you have the pronunciation on target. It used to be Aaron Hayden, and last year he made it clear it is not Aaron, it is Aaron Hayden.
Aaron Hayden,
yes.
Obviously to fit his vocation. I used to be Sam, I'm now Sam.
That's awful.
That's worse. Aaron, though, wants to be in that ball game all the time. Every time he comes out, he wants to jump back in there and replace Renner Russell.
A second down play, 2nd and 11 at the San Diego 46. Just underway, no score. Started out as a draw for Terrell Fletcher. Tried to go to the outside, but was cut off by the outside linebacker, Anthony Davis. Terrell Fletcher, who is averaging 5 yards per carry, used primarily as a third down back. That's the role that was held by Ronnie Harmon.
And Fletcher's coming off the field with a little bit of a limp. If there's any tip out there when Terrell Fletcher goes in the ball game, it is a tendency to throw the football because he's their main receiver, replacing Ronnie Harmon's role, as you said. But all those backs will catch balls today.
Loss on the play. It's a 3rd down and 14. Humphries. Martin on the reception for the first down. And that's good for 18. Tony Martin losing the helmet in the process. Tony Martin, who last season came up with 90 catches, a club record, breaking the mark held by Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow.
Kansas City is in a zone. You can see all the linebackers dropping back, and there'll be a hole right in the middle right here. This is a read pattern. Tony Martin goes down, and as he feels the hole open in the zone, and he got a throwing lane back to that quarterback. In other words, I can look back and I see the quarterback's eyes. That means he can see me. I'm just going to stand still and let him throw me the ball.
And this is the 8th play of the drive. 5.5 gone by. First quarter. Humphries with the out pattern, able to complete it. Charlie Jones, not to be confused with fellow San Diego native and NBC announcer Charlie Jones. This Charlie at 5'8", 175 pounds, a rookie from Fresno State, a 4th-round draft pick. And this Charlie Jones, I'm told, has better upfield speed than
I will verify that. Even though we watched him kind of hobble around on the practice field Friday, twisted his knee a little bit in practice, but looks like he's okay.
A 2nd down and 4 at the Kansas City 33. Nice hole for Leonard Russell, slashing his way and refusing to go down. Finally, James Hasty and Joe Phillips were able to collar Russell, but he went for 17 and a first down.
Leonard Russell showing right here the big power, but also the willingness to take the hole. The one concern I'd have is watch right there. You see the ball. He holds that ball out from his body. And anytime you can see a lot of the football, sooner or later somebody's going to try to strip it.
And the Kansas City Chiefs are adept at that, particularly Derek Thomas. And again, Russell, this time try to get to the outside, met by Anthony Davis. The San Diego Chargers with wins over Seattle, Cincinnati, and Oakland. They were pounded by Green Bay 42-10, and you can barely recognize this team from the squad that played in the Super Bowl only 2 years ago. Gone are Natron Means, Ronnie Harmon, Mark Say, Sean Jefferson, Leslie O'Neal, Dennis Gibson, Harry Swain. This is a revamped ball club. And what a job by the general manager, Bobby Beathard, as Humphries looks to the end zone, then throws it away.
Marty Schottenheimer describes this team as being put together this year addition by subtraction. They have had a lot of turnover, but they brought the right complement of players back in here. You know, I'm a firm believer it's the best combination of players that win, not the team that has that one great individual or two. It's the best combination of players, and San Diego and Bobby Beathard and Bobby Ross have a way of finding them.
Plus, this a franchise hit by tragedy twice with the offseason deaths of linebacker David Griggs and running back Randy Culver. It's a 3rd down and 9. The ball at the 15-yard line, and Humphries throwing for the end zone and broken up. Beautiful play. Dale Carter leaping to bat it away from Tony Martin.
That's the athleticism of Dale Carter covering the #1 receiver, Tony Martin. They know the ball's going to be going to him a lot. Bump and run. As long as, look at Dale's head. As soon as Dale Carter's head turns around, there's no more problem with interference. He just reaches up and knocks the ball away at the last minute. But that's a bump and run technique. They're going to come up and challenge the San Diego Charger wide receivers today.
A 33-yard field goal attempt. You see the numbers. John Carney, who leads the AFC with 40 points, adds to that total. So Carney hits from 33. The Chargers with a 3-0 lead.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. By UPS, the official package delivery company of the NFL. And by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better.
We are back in San Diego, California. On the left, the president of the San Diego Chargers, Alex Spanos. And the man with the binoculars, the general manager of the Chargers, Bobby Beathard, who apparently is checking out our Sam Wyche. I know he likes to watch your every move, Sam. Incognito, Jerome Woods lets it carry out. They'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. It's the San Diego Chargers with a 3-0 lead on the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, modern technology has reached the Kansas City Chiefs. They're in the cool zone, apparently.
Cooling off Neil Smith and company there, just calming him down a little bit. He doesn't like the sound of that cannon, you know. So.
Oh, he hates it. He was telling us last night, perhaps the primary motivation to keep San Diego off the scoreboard is not to have the sound of the cannon and the San Diego Charger song that plays after every touchdown. 3-0 Chargers, 7.5 remaining in the first quarter. And Kansas City back to the offense. Kimball Anders reaching out across the 25-yard line.
Kimball Anders.
Rodney Harrison, the strong safety, up to make the stop. There's Kimball Anderson, who made the team as a free agent rookie back in 1991. He's come a long way, making it to the Pro Bowl last year. Led the Chiefs in receptions with 55. He and Marcus Allen in the backfield. Marcus, a native of San Diego, had to come up with 20 tickets for members of the Allen family. 2nd and 3. And looked like the ball was battered, but Marcus able to hold on. Reuben Davis made the tackle.
Reuben Davis is the read guy in the middle. He's the big run stopper. Big defensive line for San Diego with Sean Lee at 300 pounds and Reuben at 320. At least that's his program weight. Depends on whether you weigh him before or after dinner.
He and Sean Lee are affectionately referred to as 2 tons of fun.
And really, not only affectionately, but very, very carefully referred to as
a 3rd down and 1. Bono able to throw on the run and completes for the first down to the tight end, Reggie Johnson, who was pushed out by Lewis Bush.
Reggie Johnson has really come in and done a good job for Johnson's going to go from his tight end position, just breaking to the outside. They only need a couple of 3 yards right here, getting behind the first down marker. Sure hands on the catch. Florida State native, and is playing more and more because of the injuries to Keith Cash.
Johnson signed as a free agent from the Eagles and starting his 3rd straight game. Marcus Allen could not find the hole and is hit for a loss, met by Junior Seau.
That was eyeball to eyeball right there when Marcus Allen went into that hole. 2 big-time players. Watch Junior right here. Right in the hole. As I said earlier, he doesn't play on his side of the ball. As soon as he knows where the ball is going, he's going to find a crease through that offensive line. The defensive lineman's job is to make sure no offensive lineman can get up on Junior Seau so he can get through.
2nd and 13 from the 29. 5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Play action, and Bono throwing down the middle, completing to Reggie Johnson. Kurt Govea on the stop. It's a 25-yard advance.
You see this so much. The middle linebacker, Kurt Govea, has the tight end 1-on-1. Right here's Govea. Here comes the tight end. But watch Govea as he runs. He's going to look at the receiver. His eyes are on the receiver. Never sees the ball coming over his head. The receiver, Johnson, did a good job right there, though. He didn't reach up for the ball too quickly.
Bono and Johnson able to hook up. And it's a first down at the 48 in San Diego territory. Play fake by Bono. And again able to complete, this time Vanover. But he was hemmed in by Willie Clark. Willie Clark starting for the injured Wayne Harper at the left corner. Tamarick Vanover, who has provided some bad memories for the San Diego Chargers. 86-yard punt return for a touchdown last season. Vanover becoming the first player in NFL history to end an overtime game with a punt return touchdown, and did it in Kansas City. 2nd down and 5 at the 43. San Diego with a 3-0 lead on Kansas City. Play fake did not work. Kimball Anders stopped in his tracks by Junior Seau.
Junior Seau, even though he played last week with a very tight, maybe slightly strained hamstring, he got a lot of massage therapy and practiced very carefully. Here's Junior in the read. Feels the counter action. The ball actually started away and then came back to Junior's left. He comes right across the line to make the tackles that we've seen him make. The play started with a lead block by Marcus Allen and then came back away. Not going to fool Junior Seau.
It's a 3rd and 6. Bono with a fluttering pass picked off by Seau. So Junior Seau with the interception. And the Chargers take over. Junior Seau with his first interception of the season, 7th for his career. Only the 2nd time this year that Steve Bono has been picked off. We welcome you back, Marv Albert, with Sam Wyche from San Diego, and Humphreys completing to the tight end, Papuno. Alfred Papuno refusing to go down, protecting the football and rambling for 17.
Back to the interception a moment ago. Here's Junior Seau. He's going to be in on the blitz. This is unheard of right here. Watch him. He's coming in. Hold it right there. At this point, there's Junior Seau. The ball is going to be thrown downfield. All right, let it run. The ball is going to be thrown down in this area. It bounces up into the air, and there's Junior again with the interception. I think he deserves to go to the Pro Bowl for that.
Wait for the win.
Sam taking charge once again, directing the truck. Very authoritative.
Thank you. I just want to cast my vote early. And that'll be a surprise vote for everybody.
And Humphreys now 4 of 7, 57 yards as a first down at the Kansas City 35-yard line. Aaron Hayden with a short pickup, met by Tracy Rogers.
Mr. Hustle right here, Junior Seau right here. This is the way good football players, big-time football players play. He follows the ball. He never gives up on a play. And you find yourself getting lucky. You know, at the end of the game, you just got lucky. You happen to be around at the right time, the right place. You only see that with the guys, though, that put the extra time in and really take this game seriously. Junior does it.
5-time Pro Bowl player, a guy who sets the tone for the entire defensive unit of the Chargers, although to this point the tone has not been a happy one. Ranked number 30 in the NFL. Beautiful pass. Again, it's Humphries connecting with Papunu. So to this point, Sam, he has stayed away from Tony Martin. Usually he's constantly looking for Martin, but he's trying to spread it out here in the early going, and it's a first down for San Diego.
Actually, both teams have done a good job of rolling out, play action rolling out, a lot of token fakes to hold the linebackers and throwing the ball with some short crossing stuff. Tony's caught had a couple going his way, but they're using the tight ends a lot more.
And a first down at the 21-yard line. Hayden trying to get to the outside. Picked up a yard and did well to hold on to that ball as the Chiefs were trying to bat it away from him. A reminder, this Tuesday, prime time, 8 o'clock Eastern, game 1 of the division series with the New York Yankees hosting the Texas Rangers at Yankee Stadium. Bob Costas, Bob Uecker, Joe Morgan will have it for you. David Cohn and John Burkett. Yanks and Rangers, game 1 Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here on NBC. Second down and 9, and the play is blown dead. And a little extracurricular activity. Keith Traylor is being ushered aside as he tried to continue. Got involved with Aaron Hayden.
Had Keith Traylor landed that punch, he'd have had 15 yards too.
Timeout, Kansas City. That's a...
Well, apparently the Chiefs had called for time, so we'll take a break.
Here's why they called timeout a moment ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 10 players on the field. Dale Carter saw it, called timeout.
It is a second down and 9. San Diego at the Kansas City 20-yard line. Pressure on Humphries, and looked like he hit the official with a bullet.
The umpire stands right in the way many times, Marv. I've been a proponent of moving him over to the other side of the ball. Have him stand right behind the offensive side. But here's the umpire right here. Now, he is always going to be moving forward at the snap of the ball. See him move forward as he approaches, watching for the holding. But his eyes are down. He's looking at the holding. Of course, he sometimes never sees a shot like that. Don't worry, it hit him in the stomach.
Don't worry, lots of compassion from Sam. Third down and 9. Humphries off the roll and throws a bullet that is dropped by Tony Martin. Getting back to moving the umpire. Now, do you bring these suggestions up, or have you in the past at various competition committee meetings?
You mean when I had a job in the league?
Exactly.
Yes, I have brought this up, and actually Jerry Seaman one year was going to do a study of the umpire on the offensive side of the ball, put the referee on one side, the umpire on the other. The next year at the league meetings, we asked him how it went, and he said he forgot to do it. So I guess maybe they really weren't that interested in moving.
Sam taking a shot at the head of the NFL officiating crew.
Just trying to be accurate with my report.
A 38-yard attempt by Carney, who hit earlier from 33. Line drives it. It is good, but penalty markers are down.
You know, Marv, this first quarter, again, controlled by San Diego, 38-7 going into this game. They have outscored their opponent in the first quarter.
And the
offside by the defense, number 94. The penalty is declined. The field goal is good.
All right, so Carney hitting again. We get the delayed cannon firing off. A 38-yard field goal for a 6-0 Charger lead. Welcome back to San Diego, California. Marv Albert with Sam Wyche. 6-0 Chargers over the Chiefs. Final minute of the first quarter. You can follow the NFL on NBC at NBC.com/sports. Scoring updates, game summaries all day long. A weekly interactive poll question and special this week. Send us any questions you may have for NFL on NBC broadcaster and former Giant quarterback Phil Simms. It's the only online site for your football needs, all at NBC.com/sports. So Phil will be fielding the questions.
I will be at that keyboard first thing in the morning.
Here's the kick by Carney. Again, it is Jerome Woods back, and a good kick. And once again, Woods undecided, went for it, and then kind of pulled back, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that one was going to go out of bounds, and when it gets that deep, you're probably better off keeping it in, especially the way going into this game Kansas City has blocked on special teams. Total yards, Kansas City 37 against San Diego's 92. Highlighting the point we made, San Diego has controlled the first quarter of games they played here in the first quarter of the season.
All right, 38 seconds remaining in this opening quarter, and the Chiefs starting out at the 20-yard line. In their last series, Steve Bono was intercepted by Junior Seau. And again to the ground. Marcus Allen has not been able to get going. Stopped by Reuben Davis. We had a long chat last night with Marcus Allen, who grew up in southeast San Diego, played football at Lincoln High School in San Diego, was a quarterback and a safety. Said he wanted to be a safety more than a quarterback, and his hero was Lem Barney, the one-time standout for the Detroit Lions.
I played with Lem Barney, actually. Actually, I was on the roster. He was playing, but it was all part of the business.
Final seconds, first quarter. Chargers 6 and the Chiefs nothing.
If you think
on to the second quarter here in San Diego, the hometown of that man, Marcus Allen, and we present to you from the Lincoln High School yearbook in San Diego, 1978. A youthful-looking Marcus Allen. This is senior year. And that says what? Mr. Marcus Allen, a very collegiate look. And Marcus has always enjoyed playing against the Chargers. 21 rushing touchdowns, more than he has accomplished against any other team in the NFL. But today has not been able to get going. He's carried the ball 4 times. 0 yards.
And Kansas City really has not done much better. 6 rushes total for Kansas City and only 6 yards total rushing yardage in the first quarter.
And now Greg Hill has come on, replacing Marcus Allen. Hill, a guy with terrific speed, one of the faster players in the NFL. There he is, third year out of Texas. A&M, second quarter underway. Chargers 6 and the Chiefs nothing. And this is Hill trying to get to the outside and then cut in, and picked up a couple, met by John Perella, 4-year man from Nebraska. Chris Mims also on the stop. So it will be a 3rd down and 8 from the 22-yard line.
We'll see John Perella and Rayleigh Johnson come in the ball game when San Diego feels like they're going to be throwing the ball. They're the pass rushers, and when they feel like it's a run, Reuben Davis and Sean Lee are in there, the 2 tons of fun.
3rd and 8. Bono getting the protection, and he rifled it downfield, intended for Chris Penn. Chris Penn last week in the win over Denver caught 5 balls, 55 yards, including a couple of clutch receptions in the 4th quarter.
Straight drop back, 3rd down, and about 8 or 9 yards. They decided to go for the home run. A lot of defenses will play for that 12 to 15-yard range on 3rd down and 10 or so, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, and will sit. You can run by him on occasion. Didn't work then.
And this is Louis Aguiar. His first punt traveled 59 yards. Marion Gordon, excellent return man, back at his 35. Got the good hang time. And here's Gordon, waiting for the blockers to develop. They never did, and he fumbled. Gordon lost it. Recovered by Kansas City. 48-yard punt. And it appeared that Gordon felt the play was over, very casual about it, and the ball knocked out of his hands.
Regardless of what he thought, it's a big play on the special teams field position. Marty Schottenheimer's been concerned about his special teams coming into this ball game. But you see Darren Gordon, he's leading the NFL in returns, over 20 yards of return. The ball just gets pulled away. I think he's okay. I think he's still part of that play, and he gets stripped from it. Kansas City with good pursuit. You know, when that ball comes loose, that's only part of it. Somebody has to be around to recover it.
And Greg Mineski came up with the recovered fumble. And Greg Hill is stopped. Chiefs not able to get the running game going. Again, it's Junior Seau making the tackle.
You know, they're going to push this issue as long as they can, but they're running right straight at Junior Seau. Here he comes right up into the backfield. Actually, they ran away from him this time, but the plan didn't work because he got in the backfield before they could get to the other side.
And the numbers on Seau: 3 tackles, 1 assisted tackle, and that interception. Second down and 11. Hill lost a yard on the play. We are early second quarter, and the Chargers leading the Chiefs 6-0. Bono with the protection. It is deflected, and it's caught, and then stripped, and picked up by Hill, but we get a whistle.
Derek Hanover was the guy almost caught that, and he's got bad ribs. We didn't think we'd see him go over the middle much, but remember on the first play of the game, he ran a
The player
shallow
was
cross.
down by contact.
He ran a shallow cross and dropped the ball, maybe because he didn't want to get that hit that he just got.
And it is ruled down by contact as you take another look at it. On the deflection, it is taken by Vanover and then had the ball knocked away, but he was down.
Good call. He's got possession. He's taken down. The ground causes that one. Good hard hit straight on his back. He'll be feeling the ribs from that one.
A third down and 5 down at the 26-yard line. That is Hill peeling off. And a timing pattern. Pass intended for Penn. Covered by the right corner, Terrence Shaw. Shaw able to break it up.
Watch Chris Penn right here. He's got bump and run coverage. In other words, press coverage. You see them, they're all tight. He just makes a quick move up the field. Now he's going to run. Now watch him play possum right here. He's going to act as though the ball's not coming. No arms go up until the last second, trying to reach up. That one possibly could be called interference. I did not see Terrence Shaw's head turn back, but the official ruled that he really didn't interfere with the catch.
All right, here's Pete Stoyanovich, the one-time Miami Dolphin, attempting a 44-yard field goal. Stoyanovich putting it right through. Make it 5 of 6 on the season for Stoyanovich. And the Chargers now lead 6-3.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Buick and your local dealers. By AT&T, your true choice. By Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Call 1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. And by the new Coors Light Wide Mouth Can. Tap the Rockies with a smoother pour.
Back in San Diego on a beautiful 82-degree day. A 6-3 lead. The Chargers over the Chiefs a moment ago. Pete Stoyanovich connecting on a 44-yard field goal, and he's getting set to kick it to Andre Coleman. Andre Coleman bothered by an injured hip. Very dangerous man back there for the San Diego Chargers. Last season returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns, giving him 4 for his career. The question with Andre from time to time, though, he will put the ball on the ground.
We saw him in practice on Friday. He actually had the imprint of a face mask on his hip.
Oh, nice. Here is Coleman on the return. And Coleman able to break it. Chased by Stoyanovich. And is guided out of bounds. Andre Coleman with a 56-yard return.
All week long, very careful in practice, but the rest during the week certainly paid off on that return. Here's speed up the left side. Every one of the lanes seemed to be filled. Breaks it back to the outside, and now it's just speed. Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with the hip to me. Of course, we can't see that face mask imprint either.
And I know you'd like to get a close-up look at it again. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. And San Diego 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 43-yard line. Humphreys throwing the out pattern. Charlie Jones making his second catch of the day. James Hasty on the coverage. Well, the MetLife blimp, co-piloted by Snoopy, dressed as the famous World War I flying ace today. Rather than searching the skies for the Red Baron, Snoopy is enjoying today's football game featuring the Chiefs and Chargers. And I can't believe I read that.
But you did. So live with
Snoopy is enjoying today's game. So nice to hear that. Leonard Russell is stopped by Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis didn't practice on Wednesday, therefore doesn't start. The Marty Schottenheimer rule, but he is certainly healthy and ready to go on Sunday. Anthony coming right here in the backfield. Notice the good linebackers. We've talked about Junior Seau on the other side of the ball. The good linebackers don't wait for the ball carrier to come to them. They initiate the blow.
And now the Chiefs do have Davis and Thomas on the field. Derek Thomas used sporadically in the first quarter. Humphries. Well, he thought he had Tony Martin racing downfield. Martin engaged with the defender, and then Humphries just fired it away, and so it is a 4th down and 5. And the punting unit will check in. Darren Bennett stepping on for the first time out of Sydney, Australia, by way of the World League. Here's a guy who took the NFL by storm last season, averaged just under 45 yards per punt, made it to the Pro Bowl, also has a superb touch. And you see the touch right there.
Leaves the ball in the air. A long time for the cover people to get down there to stop the bounce into the end zone. That time they didn't need it.
Marv Albert and Sam Wyche in San Diego early in the second quarter, and the Chargers with a 6-3 lead on the Chiefs. Chiefs starting out from the 15. Bono off the roll and able to complete a sideline pattern. Chris Penn on the reception for 12 yards, and for Penn his first catch of the day.
Here's a quarterback that gets no respect, right, standing right in the face of a blow. He knows he's going to take a hit on the throw. Both teams are using a lot of the rollout type protections and the token fakes, but they're still getting hit after the throw.
And a first down at the 28-yard line. Greg Hill. Short yardage on the play. Harrison and Seau combined to make the stop. Kansas City Chiefs coming at 4-0. Wins over Houston, Oakland, Seattle, and Denver. It's their first 4-0 start in the history of the franchise. And Kansas City, with that win over Denver last week, has now won 12 straight against divisional opposition. That goes back to 1994. A very impressive record. Second down and 9. Bono with the deep drop. And Bono intended for Penn, who could not come up with the ball.
A deep crossing pattern by Chris Penn. Again, the token fake. Both teams are doing a good job of trying to freeze the linebackers. The linebackers are all making tackles on the offensive side of the ball, so it makes sense for them to token fake that run when they're going to throw the ball. Take them a little bit out of the pass coverage position.
Bono now 5 of 11 for 49 yards. We were talking about this a moment ago. The Chiefs so effective within their division. It's a 3rd down and 9. And Bono able to complete to Donnell Bennett. And Bennett broke tackles. And then he's rolled down. Donnell Bennett in his 3rd season out of Miami, a 2nd-round pick back in 1994.
This is what is called a hot read. The blitz was coming. The quarterback reads the blitz, and Bennett reads the blitz. Can't see him break it off, but you see him out here in the flat right here. He probably had another route down the field, but when he saw everyone run by him chasing the quarterback, he just turns to the outside, gives the quarterback an outlet throw, and they pick up what they can. It's a good blitz on 3rd and long, not too good for the 3rd and medium, because you can still pick up the first down as they did.
Aiden Hughes split to the right, and Sean LaChapelle, who was signed earlier this week, is to the left side, but they go to the ground for Greg Hill. And it is a short advance. Rodney Harrison, the strong safety, making the stop. We were talking earlier today about despite all the success that Steve Bono has had in taking over for a legend, Joe Montana, doesn't seem to get the proper respect. Last year a dream season until that playoff game when he did not have a good one against the Indianapolis Colts.
We're still looking though at the winningest quarterback in the National Football League right now. He's got over a 75% winning percentage.
Second down and 7. And the completion to Keith Cash. The tight end, Keith Cash, who has had knee problems the past 2 years. Missed 3 games this season with a sprained knee. Back in action today. And Cash with the catch right at the marker, and it is called a first down.
High percentage. This is not really West Coast offense per se, but it's high percentage throwing, moving the pocket, never giving the defensive lineman a landmark snap after snap just to rush to.
And a first down at midfield. Play action, and Bono is taken down. Did not fool Chris Mims. First sack of the day for the Chargers. And for Mims, who is celebrating his 26th birthday today, his second sack of the season.
Chris Mims, here he comes. Big tackle is supposed to turn out, but he really wouldn't. You see a tackle, if we can run that back just 1 second. When you see an offensive lineman turn his shoulders like that, he's going to get beat. You've got to stay in front of the guy with your shoulders square on the pass rush, but that time Chris Mims just got a great start on the snap.
Mims had said yesterday when asked about his birthday he wanted a Steve Bono cake with 2 sacks on it. Well, he's halfway there. And the play is whistle dead. It's a 2nd and 21 from the 39-yard line. And the call against Kansas City.
You see Marty Schottenheimer going through what all coaches go through when the needless happens on the field. You work so hard to make every yard, and then you give it up with a mistake and a penalty.
It is now a 2nd and 26. The ball at the Kansas City 34-yard line. Chargers 6, Chiefs 3. Just under 7 minutes left, first half. Big rush, and the ball dropped by Greg Hill. Marco Coleman was all over Steve Bono.
And when you've got a screenplay called and there's someone like Marco Coleman on you so quickly, there's no chance for the screen to develop. Your lineman can't get up. Here's number 90, Marco Coleman coming off. A little game inside. He's there too quick. The screen is not developed. Greg Hill really didn't have his head around in time to see the ball.
Marco Coleman signed as a free agent from Miami. Back with his college coach at Georgia Tech, Bobby Ross. It's a 3rd and 26. And a flag thrown as Bono pops it all the way downfield. The intended receiver, Tamarick Vanover, was taken down, got tripped up, but a flag is down.
3rd down and 26. You either get a little bit back and virtually add it to the punt, or you take the long shot. They went for the long shot.
Hands to the face by the offense, number 69. The penalty is declined, brings up 4th down.
Well, that's Jeff Creswell, one-time New York Jet, 6'7", 295-pounder, the backup offensive lineman who's playing for Ricky Sigler at right tackle in this series, and he's called on the penalty. So here's Louis Aguiar with 4th and 26. Punting from his 20-yard line. Darian Gordon is back. Last time Gordon handled a punt, he fumbled. And a good one by Aguiar. Gordon back behind his 10. Terrific coverage by the Chiefs. A 54-yard punt. Jerome Woods, very quick to get to the punt returner, Darian Gordon.
On that 54-yard punt a moment ago, Louis Aguiar down, the punter, down in the coverage. And really what you're doing here, Louis, is you're making sure that when you look at that special teams film on Monday, that you have a chance to say, run that one back, Coach, just one more time.
All right, so the San Diego Chargers back to the offense. Leonard Russell starting out from the 10-yard line. Louis Aguiar very pleased with himself off the physical contact a moment ago and having a good day.
He's having a good. I wonder why he doesn't swallow. You ever wondered that about athletes? Why don't you just swallow instead of spit?
Actually, I never thought about that.
Well, I think about things like this.
Second down.
Why I'm in the booth.
Second down and 8 at the 11-yard line. 6 minutes remaining first half. And San Diego with a 6-3 lead on Kansas City. Humphrey going incomplete, intended for Papunu. Although Stan Humphries had an excellent game last week against the Raiders, he took a pounding, hurt his left shoulder, the fingers on his left hand. Fortunately for Stan, he does throw with the right hand, took a shot right here. He told us, looking at the x-rays, and there were 16 different x-rays, he said he was happy when all the damage came out. Left.
He gets hammered again right there. Actually, not a big hit, but when you go down, you never know how you're going to fall. There's always a chance of an injury.
Third and 8 from the 11. Humphries sidearming it and has broken up the pass intended for Tony Martin. Dale Carter has done a superb job here in the first half on Tony Martin.
Not only has the defense done a good job, but Louis Aguiar's punt now has pinned them back. That was 3 snaps. They gained 2 yards, and suddenly field position is going to be a big factor on this particular exchange.
Now Darren Bennett will punt from his end zone.
52.
Chris Penn back at the 40-yard line.
These are called hidden yardage. The special teams yards, they don't show up on the stats very much, but they move the ball around, giving their offense better field position.
Well, Penn comes up to make the fair catch at midfield. It is only a 38-yard punt by Bennett. 5:41 left in this first half. We'll be right back. This is an illustration of how badly things have gone for the Kansas City Chiefs. Not able to get anything going on first down.
6 runs and 4 passes. Every time it's an incomplete, of course, that registers a 0 for that attempt.
And a first down for Kansas City at the San Diego 48. And they throw it on first down. The completion to Marcus Allen. Nice move by Allen. Comes up just shy of a first down. Terran Shaw ran him out of bounds. And now Derek Thomas either auditioning for his color commentary job after his playing career or talking to one of the coaches upstairs.
I just wonder how big the market is that he's speaking to right now. Here are the coaches upstairs. Paul Hackett on the left or in the center right there.
And
directing traffic now.
Apparently he is chatting with Gunther Cunningham, who is on the left. Gunther, the defensive coordinator. You see the flags thrown. To be Sean Lee, number 98.
Encroachment by the defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
Well, next Sunday, NBC Sports will present more NFL action at the special time of 12 noon Eastern with the NFL on NBC. And most of you will see Jeff Hostetler in the silver and black. The Raiders take on the Jets. Others will watch the Dolphins and the Seahawks. So the Patriots play the Ravens. And then in the second half of our doubleheader, most of you will see John Elway and the Broncos go up against the San Diego Chargers. Others will see the Colts and the Bills, or the Saints host the Jaguars. Jacksonville knocking off Carolina earlier today. Check your local listings for the game in your area. First down at the 38. So it was a first down picked up, and now Marcus Allen stopped by Rodney Harrison. So Marcus for the first time with some plus yardage.
And now we see what all of those runs up the middle right at Junior Seau are all about. They were setting up a play just like this. There may be some more plays actually like it, but they faked the ball right straight up the middle. And you'll watch Mark, the fake is coming here, and then the sweep is going outside. You have to set it up, though. You got to run in there and maybe take your lumps a few times before you get outside and take a chance on the big home run hit.
And looks like Rodney Harrison, the strong safety involved on that tackle of Marcus Allen. He is hurting the Chargers without the left corner, their usual starter, Dwayne Harper, who is out with a pulled hamstring. This is Rodney Harrison, who leads San Diego in tackles. He says that is not a real good sign when the strong safety is your leading tackler. Rodney in his third season out of Weston, Illinois, and they are checking him out. We have 4:44 remaining in this first half. It has been a field goal duel. Chargers with a 6-3 lead on the Chiefs.
Rodney Harrison likes to play that free safety role. He told us yesterday that it gives him more chances to get to the ball or the ball carrier. This drive already, Marcus Allen has a 5-yard run, or a 5-yard pass completion rather, and then that 7-yard run. So Marcus, big part of the offense in this drive.
And you can see Harrison hobbling off, being replaced by Eric Castle, a guy who can play both safety positions. So Castle, the strong safety, combining with the one-time Kansas City Chief Kevin Ross. There is Eric Castle. When we resume, it'll be a 2nd and 3 at the 31-yard line. A look at the earlier final scores. The Giants knocking off Minnesota, Giant Stadium. So the Giants 2 up, 3 down. I mentioned the Jacksonville win at home against Carolina. Carolina now 3-1. And Chicago knocking off Oakland. The diving attempt, it is ruled, let's see, the Chargers saying no catch by Chris Penn, that he scooped it up. But it is a completed pass. Penn with the catch in front of the right corner, Terrence Shaw, and it's good for 20 yards.
Deep out, bump and run by the San Diego Chargers. Looking back, and then he breaks it out. As soon as he looks back, that's the key to the quarterback, that he's ready for the ball to be thrown back to the outside. Looks like a good completion. I don't think either official wanted to make that call real quick. They wanted to confer before they did to get it right.
Well, the end result, a 1st and 10 down at the 11-yard line. And Bono completes again. Kimball Anders picks up a couple on the play, met by the left corner, Willie Clark.
Don't want to jinx the San Diego Chargers, but from their fan standpoint here, but 11 touchdowns given up in the last 2 weeks by this Charger defense. So far, no touchdowns, only a field goal. Kansas City knocking on the door now.
It is a 2nd and 7 down at the 8-yard line. Anders in motion. And Bono throwing for the end zone. It was off the mark, intended for the tight end, Reggie Johnson, who was covered by Rodney Harrison, who's back on the field.
Kansas City came out this time and they spread everybody out, and then they emptied the backfield is the term that's used. The motion, the running back actually leaves the backfield, but watch what happens. You see the linebacker covering the motioning running back. That tips the defense to the offense. They know it's a man-to-man coverage. When the linebacker moves with the running back, man-to-man coverage, you know what the defense is. You got a better chance to have a good play.
It is a 3rd and 7. Incomplete through the hands of Reggie Johnson.
Again, they forced San Diego to tell him what the coverage was. Man-to-man again, but good man-to-man. Forcing the field goal attempt.
And this will be from 26 yards away. Stoyanovich earlier in the 2nd quarter hit from 44. John Carney has connected from 33 and from 38. Pete Stoyanovich seeking to tie the game, and he does. With 2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining in the first half, the Chiefs and the Chargers are tied at 6. Well, tonight, Third Rock aliens visit a sci-fi convention. Meet Mr. Sulu and encounter their first hotel room.
Look at this tiny bottle. Evidence of a superior race of tiny people.
A tiny fridge filled with tiny bottles of alcohol and tiny bags of macadamia nuts.
How do they get up on the bed? Especially when they're all drunk and fat on nuts.
That is Third Rock from the Sun, NBC tonight. I do not think that Boltman, although perhaps you could write him into the script of Third Rock, but I do not think he will be on tonight's program.
Looks like he fit right into me. Making the rounds right now in section 307 for those of you listening with your little portable TVs.
2:48 remaining in the first half. Stojanovic will kick it off. The game is now tied at 6. And there's Andre Coleman, who ripped off the 56-yard return last time out. Andre Coleman last season returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns. And here's Coleman across the 10. And this time he ran into a crowd, could not find the running room. Only a 15-yard return by Coleman, taken down by Todd McNair.
Very soft that time in terms of the blocking up front for Andre Coleman. He didn't have much of a chance. The blockers didn't deliver the blow. They got up there pretty well stopped. Tried to measure their opponents on Kansas City, and the result was a very poor return, not only out to the 17-yard line.
So 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And the Chargers first down from the 17. The gift to Leonard Russell. And he's able to make his way across the 20-yard line, met by Anthony Davis and Vaughn Booker. And Russell goes hobbling back to the huddle.
The last special teams exchange we had was a punt exchange. Left San Diego in poor field position. Kansas City got down and got a field goal out of it. This could result in the same thing if San Diego would move out of here, closing in on the first half.
Second down and 5 from the 22. Play fake by Humphries. And he goes sideline and has a first down, hooking up with Tony Martin. And for Martin, it is only his second catch of the day. Leads the AFC coming into today with 29. 2 minutes left in the half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll be sending you to our New York studio for the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC halftime report. Greg Gumbel and company will get you caught up on all the action from this 5th week of the NFL season that is coming up at halftime. 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Bobby Ross, head coach of the San Diego Chargers. Now, last year he thought the Chargers came to camp with the wrong attitude following their performance in the Super Bowl, and Sam, he was correct. And the credo for this season, he said, in fact, the theme for today's game, poise and perseverance, kind of like our credo here in the broadcast.
Exactly the same, isn't it? Comes into play more in the second half, but
Stan Humphries going incomplete. Not a poised play by the Chargers.
not at all. Stan Humphries continues to get pounded. Neil Smith told us yesterday that this guy just gets hit, and he gets hit, but he keeps getting up. And you've got to keep hitting him and delivering the blows. But he is a tough-minded quarterback, and they're moving him around so that he can avoid some of these hits. But they're right there in that infield. Right, when they go down on that infield, it's a harder fall than on grass.
A 2nd and 10 at the 33. And now Humphries with a timing pattern, not able to connect. Pass intended for Andre Coleman, who was covered by Darren Anderson.
We've seen all day today the bump and run by Kansas City against the smaller wide receivers of the San Diego Chargers right here. Andre Coleman is 5'9" on the program. Not a lot of bump, just a lot of run. Notice the defenders don't look back until the receiver looks back. And the common sense tells you they're not going to catch a ball if they're not looking for it. So when they look back, the head goes back for the defender. No interference call.
3rd down and 10. And again, Humphries in trouble. Can't find anyone. And then able to connect through a crowd. Omar Ellison made the catch, but a penalty marker is tossed. If it holds up, it's good for 12.
I think it's going to be holding against San Diego. At least 2 or 3 of the Chiefs think so.
Holding by the offense, number 70, 10-yard penalty.
Well, that's the left tackle, Vaughn Parker, the man for the most part facing Derek Thomas this afternoon. Vaughn Parker in his 3rd season out of UCLA. He's at the left tackle slot. In fact, made his first career start on the left side last week against the Raiders.
Right here, Vaughn Parker considered the best pass protecting lineman on this San Diego team. But when you're going up against great players, there's going to be times where the advantage goes their way, and in trying to protect your quarterback, you'll hold it on occasion. You just hope that that official is looking somewhere else.
It is a 3rd down and 20 from the 23-yard line. A minute 40 remaining in this first half. And Humphries throwing deep downfield, overthrowing Andre Coleman. And again, Stan Humphries took a pop. Neil Smith getting to the quarterback.
Watch what happens. The ball is released. Bump and run coverage again on all the wide receivers. Not a lot of room down the field to throw it. There it goes. Everything's okay except at the very end. Watch. Here he goes down. Even that fall, that's not a hard hit, but it's a fall to the ground. And over during the course of a ball game, it mounts up.
Neil Smith. Man was made the Pro Bowl 5 straight years, 12 sacks a year ago, bothered by a swollen ankle coming into today. The punt by Bennett. Lively hop fielded by Penn. And Chris Penn able to find some running room. 46-yard punt and a 15-yard return. Eric Castle running him out of bounds. Again, a check of the ticker. These are games in progress. The later game, San Francisco well in front of Atlanta late in the 2nd quarter. St. Louis over Arizona as the 2nd quarter winds down. And the Padres and the Dodgers up north at Dodger Stadium in LA in the 6th inning. Winner of that one will win the National League West. Padres taking the first 2 games of the series.
Schottenheimer and Paul Hackett now trying to get ready for this 2-minute offense. In minute 24, they got 2 timeouts remaining.
And they start out from their 45-yard line. A swing pass completed to Allen.
Plenty of time with a minute 24. They can use these little short gains because they got timeout and they've got that sideline. Here's Paul Hackett. Paul Hackett coached one time under Bill Walsh at San Francisco. In fact, he replaced me. He's the offensive coordinator now for the Kansas City Chiefs. A little bit of West Coast offense, but like all offenses and defenses, they evolve from year to year with the personnel that you have.
2nd down and 7 from the 48-yard line. Minute 19 left in this first half. The game is tied at 6, and Sean Lee finds himself in the Kansas City backfield. A flag is down.
Immediately point to the other guy and say, you moved.
5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
You know, it's a neat trick right in this time of a ball game is the offensive center sometimes will just squeeze the ball. He won't move, but he'll squeeze the ball. Doesn't look like he does it right there. I think that's just Sean Lee trying to get the big jump. Junior Seau watching this take place right in front of him. I'll tell you what, Junior doesn't like a mistake anywhere on that football field. He plays to perfection.
It'll be a 2nd and 2. And the draw for Allen. Marcus Allen finding running room. So tough to bring down. Goes for 17, tripped up by Eric Castle. So after the slow start, Marcus Allen showing some signs in the 2nd quarter. And the Chiefs with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
A little different run than earlier in the game when it was a straight running play. This is a draw. The quarterback sets up like a pass, a delayed handoff, and then Marcus finds his way through. Now watch right at the end of the play. Marcus Allen doesn't take many direct hits, always glancing blows, twisting his shoulders, getting just out of the way. A lot of spins with Marcus Allen as we have watched over the years. His career started right here when he was a Pop Warner football player wearing the old number 24 of the Pop Warner Lions football team. Were you there?
I missed that one, but Marcus was telling us last night he'll never forget that first game. 10 years old, playing, as you say, for Pop Warner, and played halftime of a Chargers game here at Jack Murphy. Said he was in awe just being on the same field as the San Diego Chargers. He told us he came into this season thinking that this could be his finale, but now he's not so sure. He said he'd like to go out with a Super Bowl victory.
A lot of people hope that he's going to play a lot longer. I wonder how many kids are in awe of watching him play right now as he was in that first time 10 years ago.
All right, Bono throwing, and it is completed. LaChapelle with the catch. A 26-yard pass play.
LaChapelle was in camp for 2 years, was brought in this week. He's only had a couple of weeks practice. Here he is coming. He's going to break to the outside. The receivers just cross. Runs up the field. Times his jump. Out jumps the defender. Boy, it's tough to be, the term is on the street. You're not in training camp. You're not working out every day. Come in and work a couple of days of practice and have to come out and make a big play like that.
Kansas City has called for time, and that is their final timeout. Looked like Sean LaChapelle was shaken up. Originally a 5th-round draft pick of the Los Angeles Rams back in '93. In camp with Kansas City last season. Signed as a free agent this week. He had been, as you mentioned, in camp with the Chiefs also this season. He was the offensive most valuable player in the World League this past spring. Kansas City offensive coordinator Paul Hackett mapping out play right there. He is. Nice. Well done, Sam.
Trying to help you, Marv, as best I can.
We have 1:01 to go in this first half, and when we resume, it'll be a 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
I'm always amused by that conversation on the sideline. All the discussion, the quarterback gets halfway out on the field, he turns and sprints back to the sideline to get one more piece of information from the sideline to make sure it's absolutely right. 6-yard line.
Bono 12 of 22, 126 yards, intercepted once. Bono with the long look, and then is taken down. Reuben Davis with his 2nd sack of the season. The clock is running. Kansas City does not have any timeouts left. It'll be a 2nd and goal now at the 11. Bono off the roll, completing to McNair, but he is kept away. Lewis Bush on the stop.
Clock continues to run again. On the last play, when you have a sack, the clock stops long enough to spot the ball, and then it starts again. On this play, it continues to run with no timeouts and 30 seconds left now.
And Bono trying to set things up. And San Diego takes a timeout.
And boy, Junior Seau is upset about the fact they had to take the timeout. They had Kansas City operating at the line of scrimmage, probably doing something that they preferred not to do because they haven't had a chance to go back in that huddle and talk about it.
So the clock is stopped now with 29 seconds remaining in the first half. Game is tied at 6. It'll be a 3rd and goal at the 8 for the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's Dave Adolph, the defensive coordinator for San Diego, talking to Junior Seau, getting everything straight on there. Said, you know, it's just as important, though, that if they weren't ready on defense, take the timeout. There's no sense in just trying to force Kansas City into a hurry up. You want to be ready on the defensive side of the ball, too. Junior Seau is a kind of a coach on the field, is an old cliche that would understand that somebody maybe didn't understand what they wanted to do over there and call timeout to get it right.
3rd and goal down at the 8-yard line. zone, and Chris Penn could not get to it. Covered by Terrence Shaw. So with a 4th and goal at the 8-yard line, here comes Pete Stoyanovich. And this will be a 26-yard field goal attempt. He is hit from 44 and from 26. And looking to give the Chiefs the lead.
But part of the story of this game has been the bump and run on both sides. It's been in your face, wide receiver and defensive back, bringing up nothing but field goals.
And with the movement, we get the flag. Stoyanovich is able to put it through. So the call against the Chargers.
It's only half the distance, so it won't be a 5-yarder, half the distance to the goal line. Still would not be a first down.
Offsides by the defensive right tackle. The penalty is declined. The field goal is good.
So Pete Stoyanovich with a 26-yard field goal. And the Chiefs now lead the Chargers 9-6. 23 seconds left. First half. Now word from the NFL. Welcome back to San Diego. The Chiefs with a 9-6 lead on the Chargers. It has been all field goals. John Carney and Pete Stoyanovich in a battle. 3 for Stoyanovich and 2 for Carney. Down to 23 seconds left in this first half. And Stoyanovich will kick off to Andre Coleman. The Kansas City Chiefs leading the AFC West, a record of 4-0, while the San Diego Chargers come in at 3-1. Next week they will play at Denver, followed by an open date. Chiefs next week home for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the short kick picked up by one of the up men, the tight end, Alfred Capuno. Martin Bayless involved on the stop. And we're down to 16 seconds. And the San Diego Chargers start out at the 43-yard line.
Last week in New England, we saw 2 successful Hail Marys, one for a touchdown and one that ended on the 6-yard line, sending the game into overtime before New England won. You know, I always wonder about that onside, not an onside, but a squib kick where you bounce it around. You end up too many times with field position where you can't get the ball in position, either for a Hail Mary or with a long completion out of bounds, a chance for a late field goal.
And Humphreys facing the pressure, going incomplete, intended for Fletcher. And we're down to 13 seconds. Saliamua with the good rush to force Dan Humphreys to fire it away.
13 seconds left, but they have 2 timeouts, so they can actually put the ball down the field anywhere they want to and still have time to call timeout. A normal play would last anywhere from 6 or a long pass up to 10 or 12 seconds. They can still do it.
And Humphreys off the roll, now goes sideline. Good coverage that time by James Hasty all over Omar Ellison. And it is incomplete, so Humphreys with 5 straight incompletions, not able to get going in this first half. 7 for 20, only 7 of 20, 85 yards. And we're down to 8 seconds to go in the half.
Here is where the old draw play happens. There's not really enough time unless you want to throw the Hail Mary to go down the field. Drop back, safe play. Oh, did I call that?
Yes, you did. Terrell Fletcher try to get it outside and is hauled down with 2 seconds remaining, and a timeout is taken by the San Diego Chargers.
Now they're in position. 45 yards is certainly not out of range for the deep throw. Remember, on a desperation throw like this, you don't have to complete the ball in the end zone. You can throw the ball down the field and let the man try to run it in. So many times the defense, and you'll see it here, will soften, get everybody so they can look back at the ball. You can complete the ball underneath. If you can get other receivers down the field and throw a block for you, you can score that way too.
Sam, you mentioned the 2 Hail Marys. completed by Jacksonville against New England. We did that game last week, and just watching the expressions of Patriots head coach Bill Parcells, who certainly is upset about the way they defended against the Hail Mary, but I would think that's almost impossible to practice against during the course of the week.
You don't practice it because you might have an injury. The ball players jumping up, coming down on each other's feet, and turning an ankle.
All right, here is Humphries looking downfield, and he does fire one up. Throw it to the end zone, and it is batted down. It is broken up. That is usually the idea. You don't want to keep the ball up into the air. Tony Martin, the intended receiver. That's the end of the first half. The Chiefs 9, the Chargers 6. Let's go to our studios in New York for Greg Gumbel.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. For hot and wow, call Domino's. Now.
Welcome back to our studios in New York, everyone. Along with Chris Collinsworth, Mike Ditka, and Joe Gibbs, I'm Greg Gumbel, and you are watching a field goal battle in San Diego, where at halftime, as you see, the Kansas City Chiefs are leading the Chargers by a score of 9-6. Did you expect a field goal battle?
Well, actually, no, because San Diego's defense has been so poor once the other offense gets down into the red zone. But today they've been able to keep Kansas City out of the end zone and keep them to field goals. Really, it's been the difference in what's kept them in the game so far.
All right, Chris, 9-6 at halftime, the Chiefs leading the Chargers. Elsewhere, in Seattle, the Green Bay Packers 17-7 over the Seahawks. Brett Favre has thrown 2 touchdown passes in this game. Chris Warren has rushed for 37 yards, his first touchdown of the season. In San Francisco, the 49ers have found the cure, and it is Atlanta, 27-3. The 49ers are in the lead in this game. Elvis Gerbach has thrown a touchdown pass, and Terry Kirby has thrown one to Jerry Rice, 27-3. And Arizona, the Cardinals and the St. Louis Rams. The Rams lead at 21-14. Tony Banks has thrown his first 2 NFL touchdown passes of his career. Earlier today, in Pittsburgh, the Steelers knocked off the Houston Oilers in an AFC Central battle. Steelers getting a lift from the presence of injured All-Pro linebacker Greg Lloyd, who's out for the year. Pittsburgh blocked a field goal try by Houston, leading to this. Tomzak to Charles Johnson, who just takes it away from Darrell Lewis. 62-yard touchdown play when all is said and done. Boosted the Steeler lead to 17-0. All of those points off Oiler turnovers. For the 3rd time in 4 games, the Steeler defense returned an interception for a touchdown. Darren Perry with the pick here. He goes 13 yards for the score, and that sealed it. The Steelers win it by a 30-16 count. The Steelers improve to 3-1 on the year, while the Oilers fall to 2-2. And Joe, Houston Oilers killed themselves in this game, didn't they?
They turned it over 4 times. Really what Pittsburgh wants to do right now with their quarterback situation is win with defense and run the football. And really, Houston played right in their hands by turning the ball over 4 times.
Pittsburgh defense, 5 takeaways and a blocked field goal in the game. In the Meadowlands, the Giants knocked off the previously unbeaten Minnesota Vikings, 15-10. Giants were honoring their 56th NFL championship team. 3-0 New York in the second quarter. Mike Horan's punt fielded by David Palmer of the Vikings. Up the middle. The punter, the only guy with a chance to stop him. You know what happens in those cases. 69 yards and a touchdown. Minnesota on the board and leading at 7-3. It was 7-6 Vikings in the third after a Warren Moon fumble. Aaron Pierce gets the call on the end around. 1-yard touchdown, the Giants' first rushing TD of the year. 12-7 Giants. 15-10 New York. 4 minutes left in the game. Minnesota driving. Warren Moon picked off by Felipe Sparks. That seals the victory for the Giants. Dan Reeves, all the smiles in the world as his Giants improve to 2-3. The Vikings fall to 4-1. And, Mike, you're happy for Dan Reeves, huh?
I really am. You know, he did it the way he wanted to do it. He got Hampton the ball 24 times. He got 82 yards out. A lot of yardage, but they kept that offense off the field of Minnesota. They had ball control, and he's playing great defense. Actually, they've been in every football game this year with their defense, except for the Dallas game. This team could, you know, they're going to be great, but they can get back to 500. I think.
All right, Mike, 15-10 Giants, the final score. A timeout here. Up next, we'll bring you scores and highlights of the rest of the early games. First, a message from the NFL and these words from your local station.
Domino's Pizza NFL on NBC Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza. For hot and wow, call Domino's. Now.
Welcome back. There are no remaining unbeaten teams in the NFC. The Carolina Panthers lost at Jacksonville today. 24-14 was the final score. The crowd in Jacksonville getting cooled down. Temperature was around 100 degrees or so. 7-0 Jacksonville in the first. Quarterback Mark Brunell up top to Jimmy Smith for the 8-yard score. Smith's 3rd touchdown of the season. Jaguars scored on their first 2 drives to lead 14-0. Bad news for Carolina. Late first quarter, first-round pick Tim Biakabatuka injured on a run up the middle, forced out with a sprained right knee, didn't return. 17-6 in the fourth. Jaguars added their lead. Running back James Stewart bounces off a teammate and drags Eric Davis right into the end zone. That was Stewart's second touchdown of the game. Jacksonville wins it 24-14. Joe, Panthers suffer a letdown here?
Well, I think they had two big games in a row, the 49er game, and then this was a big emotional expansion game for them, and it was probably too much for them. I'd say this, the thing that surprised me about the game is Mark Brunell, he actually had 3 long drives against what I consider a very tough Carolina defense.
Brunell, 214 yards passing today, 1,377 on the young season. 24-14 the final score. Great game at Soldier Field in Chicago where the Bears knocked off the Oakland Raiders 19-17. Raiders with their wires all crossed in the first quarter. Oakland 10-3 lead in the third. Jeff Hostetler, nice job by eluding the pass rush here and finds Tim Brown for a 5-yard score. Raiders led 17-3 and looked solid, but David Craig filling in for the injured Bears quarterback Eric Kramer hits Rashaan Salam. That's an 11-yard score. First touchdown catch of Salam's career. 17-10 Oakland. 17-16, 11 seconds left. Jeff Jager, the ex-Raider, cut in training camp. His 4th field goal of the game from 30 yards out. What a sweet victory for him and for the Chicago Bears, 19-17. Mike, all the credit in the world to Dave Craig, the substitute for Eric Kramer.
Well, you got to give credit to everybody. They hung in there. Dave Craig played a great second half of the football game, didn't make the mistakes, and he got the ball to the right people. He made some good passes. But the big thing, the Bears went back to what they had to do. Salam was running the ball. They played very consistent defense, and they got some turnovers. They took the ball away from Hostetler twice in the second half, and it was great to see Jeff Jager make that kick. The other thing, when you look at the Raiders, though, this is a very undisciplined football team. I mean, way too many penalties, way too many mistakes. You know, it's going to be hard for them to win any football games.
Yeah, boy, talk about mission impossible. The Raiders trying to recover in the tough AFC West. They are 1-4. Denver Broncos paid a visit to Cincinnati today and came away with a 14-10 win over the Bengals. Don Shula in Cincy to watch his son, head coach Dave Shula of Cincinnati. 7-3 Denver in the second. Jeff Blake from 2 yards out, the quarterback draw. Bengals led 10-7. But in the third quarter, John Elway, who was 23 of 37 for 335 yards. Here's 23 of them to Anthony Miller. That made it 14-10 Broncos. That was the final score. Miller, 5 receptions for 131 yards, and that touchdown, you just can't say enough about John Elway, can you?
You know, you look at the score and it's 14-10. You say, well, John Elway probably didn't have that great of a day. On third down, time after time, he made the plays. They said going in, his elbow was hurt, his back was hurt. Today, he destroyed the Bengals.
Meanwhile, Terrell Davis, his 4th straight 100-yard game. He gained 112 yards. The Broncos go to 4-1 on the year. In Tampa, the Tampa Bay Bucks fell to 0-5 on the year. The Lions win at 27-0. The 0-4 Bucks taking their lumps, like Alvin Harper, hammered there by Van Malone. Tampa Bay threatening inside the 5. Trent Dilfer's pass intended for Leroy Thompson. Benny Blade steps in, says thank you very much. Dilfer's the only guy who can stop him. Benny Blade's stiff arm will take care of that. 98-yard return for a touchdown. 7-0 Lions. 10-0 in the second. The combination of Scott Mitchell, Johnny Morton. Big game last week for these two. They hook up here for 31 yards. 17-0 Lions. It was 20-0 in the fourth. Mitchell again. 3 yards to Herman Moore. The NFL's leading receiver catches his 3rd touchdown pass of the season. The Lions improve to 3-2. The Bucks fall to 0-5. The final 27-0. And in Baltimore, the Ravens knocked off the New Orleans Saints 17-10. Baltimore. Ernest Biner, big day running the football. 149 yards in all. Saints were down 7 at 10-3 in the fourth. Jim Everett from the shotgun rolls away from trouble, throws in the end zone to a leaping Michael Haynes, 31 yards, game tied at 10. But Baltimore's next possession, Vinny Testaverde goes 6 yards to Michael Jackson and makes the catch in the back of the end zone. Testaverde's 2nd touchdown pass of the game, and that is the difference for the Ravens. The final 17-10. The Ravens are 2-2. The dismal Saints fall to a dismal 0-5. We will send you back to Marv Albert and Sam Wyche for the second half of the Chiefs and the Chargers after these messages from your local station.
Welcome back to San Diego. The Chiefs with a 9-6 lead as we head to the second half over the San Diego Chargers here at Jack Murphy Stadium. Just moments ago, at halftime, one of the great receivers in the history of this San Diego Charger franchise, Charlie Joyner, being honored for his Hall of Fame selection and showing off the Hall of Fame ring very proudly to this capacity crowd. Charlie Joyner, one who can certainly relate to bump and run techniques. That has been the story in this first half. Not much going on, but the bump and run has taken over to excess in the first half.
Well, I've never seen quite as much of it. It hasn't been a lot of bump. There's been a lot of run. They've come up. They said earlier that they were going to challenge the receivers. The defensive backs were going to challenge the receivers, and they've done that, but they're not rerouting them. They're not bumping them and forcing them out of their pattern. They're just running, forcing tight throws. On the offensive side of the ball, they're moving around the quarterback. They're getting him out of the pocket, token fakes, trying to get the ball off quick.
It's been the two kickers, Pete Stoyanovich, John Carney, who have accounted for all the scoring as we check out the Coors Light halftime statistics. Total yards for Kansas City, 147. They picked it up in the second quarter. San Diego, 128. Stan Humphries, only 7 of 21 for 85 yards. Missing on his last six straight incompletions. Neither club has been able to run well. Steve Bono, 13 of 24, 130 yards, and picked off once. Pete Stoyanovich will kick it off. Andre Coleman waiting back deep at his 5-yard line. The Kansas City Chiefs coming at 4-0, the first 4-0 start in the history of the franchise. San Diego Chargers 3-1. And the kickoff drifting, played by Coleman down at the 2. He's in across the 20-yard line, 25, stiff arms his way to the 30-yard line. A 27-yard return by Andre Coleman.
Watching number 51, Greg Minuski, as he comes down right here. Here you see him, one of the headhunters. You've got the guys that go down and they slam into the wedge, and you've got the other guys that are in that next layer that will take on a blocker, and they're supposed to make the tackles. Greg grabbing at the feet just enough to get a piece of Andre Coleman.
10-yard penalty, first down.
Penalty on the return. And you know, Marv, we see so many penalties on the kicking game. I'm almost the opinion that it's time for the league to take a look at it and to see if maybe not so much a liberalization of the rules where you would affect the safety of the players, but where we can keep the continuity of the game going. As so much of the tempo of the game is disrupted because of penalties on special teams.
You're right. It seems every kickoff return there's a flag. So you would liberalize the rules.
When I'm king.
Right.
Yes.
All right, this is Leonard Russell able to get to the outside and looking to hit the marker, which is at the 30-yard line. Leonard Russell taken down by the combination of Mark Collins and James Hasty.
Leonard Russell's 240 pounds. Running backs are bigger. Offensive and defensive linemen are bigger, and they're all doing it just on conditioning, diet, off-season training. There were years ago when steroids were a big problem in the National Football League. No longer are they a problem. A big problem for Kansas City, though, is Dale Carter. He's down on the field right now. Very important player to them, not just on their defensive side of the ball, but they use him as a wide receiver on occasion and as a return man.
An official timeout is taken. We'll be back to San Diego in a moment.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. By United Airlines and its more than 50,000 employee owners. Come fly our friendly skies. By Allstate, for home, auto, life, and business insurance, being in good hands is the only place to be. And by McDonald's. Have you had your break today?
Welcome back to San Diego. The Chiefs with a 9-6 lead on the Chargers. Play action, and Humphries' pass intercepted by James Hasty, who was backpedaling and did have his feet in bounds. Intended for Alfred Perpunu. James Hasty with his first interception of the season.
When Stan Humphries lets the ball go, James Hasty's actually looking back to the inside, and as the ball is thrown, see his head is turning back. As the ball is thrown, he turns back, gets control, and keeps both feet in bounds. And now it looks like the officials have discussed this one.
And apparently the feeling is that he bobbled it and did not have control as as he was trying to stay in bounds, and it is ruled an incomplete pass. So that interception is erased, and San Diego maintaining possession. It'll be a 3rd and 10 at the 30. We'll wait a report on Dale Carter. Make it 2nd and 10 at the 30. Carter replaced by Darren Anderson. Here's Russell. And the report on Dale Carter, he suffered a head trauma, and he is back on the field. So there is Dale Carter in his 5th year out of Tennessee. Such a valuable player to the Kansas City Chiefs. We have not seen him line up, though, as a wide receiver this afternoon.
No, but they'll use him at will. He doesn't really practice with the offense during the week. He just learns a few patterns. He doesn't learn to play. He knows his patterns and moves on the ball.
3rd down and 12. Humphries in trouble, able to get it away, finds the open man, and completes for the 1st down to Andre Coleman. The strong safety, Brian Washington, on the stop. It's a 20-yard reception, and for Coleman, his first catch of the day.
Coleman comes from the far side of the field. He's going to come all the way across. Clearing out behind him. We don't see all of that, but he's in that little void there, a zone. They've been playing a lot of man-to-man today, but that time it was a zone. Andre Coleman has suffered from a little bit of a hamstring. You can tell in that little twist right there. It may have twinged a little bit.
Well, Humphries had got incomplete 7 straight, and that completion stops that streak. That is incomplete. Omar Ellison not able to hang on. Took the hit from James Hasty. We were talking with James Hasty last night, and he was telling us the one advantage he feels the Kansas City defenders have on San Diego. The Charger receivers have good speed, but they are very small, so the Chiefs have to be physical, very physical, and he feels that is to their advantage, and we've been seeing that right throughout.
That prompts the bump and run. You can see the coverage. Here it is again as we watch the next snap.
2nd down and 10 from the 47-yard line. Russell able to break a tackle, and then they're taken down by the combination of Washington and Collins. Look at the scoreboard, the late games. Green Bay in front of Seattle 17-7. San Francisco walloping Atlanta 33-3. 3rd quarter. St. Louis in front of Arizona. And Graham getting the starting quarterback. Dodgers and Padres scoreless in the 8th inning. The winner will take the NL West. Oh, nice catch for the 1st down made by Coleman. Coleman in front of Carter. That's good for 11.
Shows a lot of guts when you've got players that are banged up. They don't practice hard during the week because of injuries. They still come right across the middle knowing they're going to catch the ball and get hit. Coleman's going to come up and right across the middle, breaking back to the inside. He can feel that defender coming hard on him. Dale Carter was there, but not in time.
Andre Coleman out of Kansas State in his 3rd NFL season. 1st and 10 at the Kansas City 41-yard line. Off the play action, a sideline pattern. Stan Humphries heating up again. It's Coleman doing it in front of Carter.
They're not staying away from Dale Carter, and I don't think they're going after him now just because he was injured or walked off the field injured a moment ago. They've been going wherever they want to go. San Diego has all day long.
A pickup of 12 and a 1st down for the Chargers at the Chief 30-yard line.
A lot of token fakes. Here's Stan Humphries again. All that does is kind of freezes everybody for an instant, lets everything develop downfield.
This the 9th play of the drive. Short set by Humphries. Could not find anyone. And now throwing on the run for the end zone. Intended for Coleman, who was covered by Washington.
Stan Humphries audible, or at least it appeared that he audible at the line of scrimmage, feeling like he saw something on defense. But let's watch at the very end of this play when Stan Humphries moves out of the pocket to the right. He looks to the left, not there. Now he's going to run to the right. Now watch how he carries the ball. He's got the grip on the ball. Then he tucks it under his arm for an instant. The trick there is once you put it under your arm, the defense may relax, and then you pull it back out and throw it. But you never take your fingers off the laces.
2nd and 10 from the 29-yard line. Pounding his way, Leonard Russell found a hole on the right side, closed by Tracy Simeon. And Brian Washington combining to make the stop. Is Simeon, who has led the Chiefs in tackles the past 4 seasons.
We're watching Tracy Simeon. It wasn't long in the other league where we were watching what he was watching. First one to wear the old helmet cam. Tracy Simeon.
And very proud. 3rd and 7 at the 26-yard line. And that is incomplete. Intended for Tony Martin, who was covered by Dale Carter.
Number 34.
And once again, the field goal unit checking in. John Carney, who has hit from 33 and from 38. He is 12 of 14 for the season. This is a 44-yard attempt.
You know, in week 1, he was 5 for 5 in field goals against Seattle.
The holder, the backup quarterback, Sean Salisbury. And Carney puts it through. So Carney has tied the game at 9 with 10-13 left, 3rd quarter. The Chiefs and Chargers tied at 9 as John Carney kicks it off to Jerome Woods. Rookie from Memphis with the return. Try to cut to the outside and then haul down at the 30-yard line. We've heard the San Diego Chargers cannon now 3 times today with the 3 successful field goals. Neil Smith of the Chiefs telling us yesterday he's never been a big fan of the Chargers theme song or the sound of the cannon.
Well, my view is simply this: that San Diego Chargers song just rings into your head, even when you begin to play them, and they keep playing it over and over and over. Just like that cannon they have in the end zone when they score, you know, the cannon goes off. This is annoying. It just for some reason it just gets to us, man.
It's annoying, says Neil Smith. Marcus Allen, the ball carrier, and he's hit hard. Brought down after a short pickup, brought down by Marco Coleman. Here is the reason that Neil Smith is annoyed. But the problem, Sam, is you just never know the timing. You anticipate when it's going to go off, and you're waiting, and then you might look away or relax.
Marv, let me tell you, as a player, I wandered by there.
I'm sure you did.
Way too close.
That explains many of your current problems. 2nd down and 9 at the 31-yard line. Anders on the slant and runs for the 1st down. Kimball Anders running it out of bounds, chased by Rodney Harrison. It's a pickup of 11.
Both teams have stayed with their game plan here early in the 2nd half. They ran the ball early. They moved the pocket. They were rolling out, throwing the short possession passes. Rodney Harrison looks like limping off the field again. He was limping earlier in the 1st half, made that tackle on the sideline. Eric Castle going to come in and replace him as he did in the 1st half.
Chiefs with a 1st down at their 42-yard line. 6 minutes gone by in the 3rd quarter, and the game is tied at 9. Here's Bono stepping up and throwing and overthrows. Once again, the bump and run, and Todd McNair was forced to stop.
The bump and run is good in that it forces the tighter throw. You don't have as much room to get the ball in. On the other hand, if the ball is caught, you're generally out there on an island and you don't have as much room to react. You're standing right next to the receiver when he catches the ball. He beats you real quick. It's a foot race to the end zone at that point, but neither team has given on that issue. They have come up and it's been man on man on the outside receivers.
What a difference for the Chargers when you look back to the wild 40-34 game that they experienced last week against the Oakland Raiders. Bono handing it off. Anders, flag is thrown. Anders running well and then forced out across the 45, a 13-yard advance if it holds up, but a penalty marker is down. And it is against the Chiefs.
Junior Seau on this last play may be showing the signs of a
holding by the offense, number 87. 10-yard penalty, received, second down.
Those eyes searching right through, looking at what's happening, and here he grunts. Yes, he's dragging that leg. You can see even better at the end of a run when a man is gearing down. You can tell if he's hurting because that's when he really starts to protect it. When he's running hard, he can hide it a little bit. Junior Seau is so tough, though. I don't see him coming out. Somebody's going to have to pull him out of there.
Penalty was called on Tamarick Vanover. The numbers on Seau, despite the fact he has been hobbling around once again, as he did last week. 7 tackles, 1 interception in the first half.
He was hobbling worse last week and stayed in, though.
2nd and 20 from the 32-yard line. Again, the short set by Bono, and he goes short range, completing with Danon Hughes, covered by Rodney Harrison. Well, tonight, following Dateline, it's a new Third Rock with Star Trek's Mr. Sulu, followed by the season premiere of Boston Common and the Lottery, a world premiere movie. Stick with NBC for all new shows tonight.
As Jeff Criswell is on the one knee down on the field. Jeff's already replaced Ricky Sigler. Looked like he actually was just in his pass drop, and Pete got tangled up and he went down. Walking off the field, though, is always a good sign. Though you got a trainer with his arm around you when you do it. Good set. Going against Marco Coleman. Just trips. Seems to stumble. Good outside rush. He was still in pretty good position. He's going to be all right. That doesn't look like a major injury.
And Ricky Sigler is back at right tackle. Sigler and Alt at the tackle. Zott and Shields at the guards. Grunhard is the center. 3rd and 13 from the 37. And Bono looking for the sideline pattern with Hughes, going incomplete. Willie Clark providing the coverage, and the Chiefs will be forced to punt.
Marv, the theme of this whole ball game as it has unfolded to this point is let the other guy make a mistake. Play good, conservative, safe football. Nothing but field goals so far today. Bono, of course, is the kind of quarterback you want in the ball game when that's your game plan. Marty Schottenheimer not totally unhappy with that one being thrown away. Just go ahead, give it back to them. We'll try again later.
Louis Aguiar back at his 22. Punting to Darian Gordon. And Aguiar on the fake. Flag is down. Aguiar running, sliding for the first down. But a penalty marker thrown. If it holds up, it's good for 18, but it will not. It's against the Chiefs.
Major holding, I might add. Now they're going to punt the ball.
Number 30, 10-yard penalty, repeat, 4th down.
The penalty on Donnell Bennett, backup running back.
When you see a coach's jaw square up like that, boy, that's grinding the teeth. You had a play, and Bennett, flagrant hold on the outside. All you got to do, if you're a blocker like that, is just engage the rusher. He's up to get contained on the punter. He doesn't expect the fake punt at that point. Just run with him, push him on by the punter. But he reached up and grabbed him. That's the end of that.
4th penalty against Kansas City. San Diego hit with 5. Last week, the Charger offense have been very proud, not called for a single penalty. This time, Aguiar will punt. And again, a good one. Gordon from behind his 20. Oh, avoiding the tackle, and has an opening downfield, down to the 25, down to the 10, and he is in for the touchdown. An 80-yard return by Darian Gordon. returning the punt. So a very costly penalty a moment ago against Danelle Bennett off the fake punt by Louis Aguiar. This one for 53 yards is run back by Darian Gordon.
This game has so many, I'm talking about the game of football, not just this afternoon, so many variables involved in it. The fake punt was successful, called back. We saw right at the end there, Louis Aguilar tried to make a hit at the very end. Almost had a fight at the end of that, which would have been a penalty at the end of that play.
All right, John Carney adding the extra point. First touchdown of the afternoon. There's Darian Gordon in his 4th season out of Stanford. Missed all of last year with shoulder and knee problems. Shaky start here today. Remember, he fumbled on a punt return, which led to a Kansas City field goal, but he just returned the punt. They are now saying officially 81 yards for the touchdown. And John Carney will kick off to Jerome Woods. So the Chargers now lead the Chiefs 16-9 with 7:14 left in the 3rd quarter. Line drive kick, again a short one, and it's returned by Mineski. Greg Mineski going for 18 yards with that return.
It's funny how this game can change and the special teams troubles of Kansas City continue. Here's Danelle Bennett right here on the fake punt. Reaches out, tackles the rusher, nullifies that play. Then on the very next play, Gordon catches the ball. Here's a replay. Mineski's going to miss a tackle right up here. We're going to see a miss there. Now watch. There's Bennett, number 30. He misses the tackle. 2 for 2, not good.
And a first down at the 38-yard line. The swing from Bono. Marcus Allen. He breaks the tackle. Down to the 30, to the 20. Puts the speed on, and he was tripped up getting inside the 5-yard line. Kevin Ross got a piece of Marcus Allen to save the touchdown for the moment.
We may have seen the end of the swapping of field goals here for a while. A simple play out in the flat. Marcus Allen going off to the right. Bono's reading downfield. Marcus is an alternate receiver. When you go after to knock somebody down, the caliber of Marcus Allen, you're running a risk of this kind of a play. You got to wrap those guys up.
So Marcus goes 60 yards, sets up a 1st and goal down at the 3-yard line. Well, not much occurring in the first half from the offensive point of view. It was a battle of the field goal kickers, and suddenly things have exploded in this 3rd quarter. The Chiefs take a timeout. 6:12 remaining, 3rd quarter. Chargers 16-9 over Kansas City. You're watching the NFL on NBC. We welcome you back to San Diego on a beautiful 83-degree day here in Southern California. Marv Albert with Sam Wyche. Chargers 16, Chiefs 9, 6:12 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And Kansas City with a 1st and goal down at the 3. Play action, and Bono fires for the touchdown. The tight end, Reggie Johnson, with his 1st touchdown of the season, wanted to retrieve the football for the trophy case.
And that keeps the record 100%. 7 for 7 in goal line situations the Chiefs have scored. Fake off the left side. You're going to see the ball fake this way. Good ball handling by the quarterback. See him turn his head just as he looked. If you hand the ball off, you usually follow it with your head for a step. Running, the threat is to run it in or to throw it in. Two-way go. He takes the easy one. Good stat builder.
And here's Stoyanovich hoping to tie the game. And he does. The Chiefs and the Chargers are tied at 16. Marcus Allen with that 60-yard run after the catch, setting it up. Well, today the MetLife blimp Snoopy 2 has teamed up with NBC Sports to provide an aerial view of San Diego. The MetLife blimp does not require a home base, is constantly on the road, like yourself, Sam, logging over 60,000 miles a year.
Thank you, Marv, for telling everyone that I'm out of the house a lot. I hope no crooks will listen.
6:07 remaining in this third quarter, and the kick by Stoyanovich, lifting it to the 3. Andre Coleman with the return. And Coleman getting the block. Coleman across the 25-yard line. An exciting return as he went across the field and was hauled down finally by Martin Ballas. A 24-yard kick return.
This is leadership on a football team. Marcus Allen had a long run or catch after the run after the catch. He's going down thanking everybody else. He's not sitting around looking for accolades and pats on the back. He's going to say what he thinks about his teammates. They all took part in that play. You need a lot of leadership like that to be on a championship team.
Sam, the 60-yard pass reception for Marcus Allen, his longest since back in '84's days as a Raider. Papunu runs it out, chased by the outside linebacker. Anthony Davis, third catch of the day for the tight end, Alfred Papunu. A pickup of 7 on the play. It'll be a second down. Make it 8, 2nd and 2 at the 36-yard line. 5.5 remaining in the third quarter. The game is tied at 16. And the handoff to Hayden. Trying to cut back inside. He did pick up the first down. Collared by the middle linebacker, Tracy Simeon. Well, you can experience the NFL all week long on NFL.com, the official website of the National Football League. All the tackles and touchdowns and a live game day scoreboard. NFL.com. A first down at the 42-yard line. Stan Humphries coming off perhaps his best day as a pro off the reverse. Yes, Andre Coleman was walloped by Dan Saleamoa. Whoa.
You know, when you see that coming, you're the ball carrier. The quarterback's about to hand you the ball. There's no time for a discussion at that point. The quarterback fakes off the side. Here comes the reverse. But look, doesn't take much. Nowhere to go. And remember, Andre Coleman now is 5'9", 165 pounds. This is a full speed look at it. You can almost hear the impact without the audio. That's something.
It'll be a 2nd and 17 back at the 35-yard line. Here's Humphries. And had a bit too much on it. Intended for Coleman, who was covered by Hasty.
San Diego continues to move the pocket around, especially after you feel the quick pass rush. And that's really what happened on that last play when the reverse did not work. Move the pocket. Don't give them the same landmark to rush to, those defensive linemen. Stats for Bono and Humphries. At this point,
11 of 30. Stan Humphries not having a good one. Talking about last week's performance, and we asked, was it your best ever in the NFL? He said, well, the 4 touchdowns look good, but he thought he's had better days. Fletcher, Terrell Fletcher, short of the first down. It was met by Keith Traylor.
You know, I hear people talk about why do they throw the ball? It was 4th down or 3rd down and about 18 yards, and they threw it only got 10 yards. Well, that's like adding 10 yards to your punt. If he punts this ball 45 yards right now, it becomes a net 55 yards thanks to that 3rd down play. And you haven't taken a chance down the field.
All right, Darren Bennett back to punt, and Tamarick Vanover is back for the first time. He's been working as a receiver, missed the past 2 games with cracked ribs, and he is now back for the punt return.
He's their best threat.
And here is Vanover, and good coverage by the Chargers. 43-yard punt, 7-yard return, and it was Darian Gordon, the Chargers punt return man, able to make the tackle. Next week, the NFL on NBC features doubleheader action. First, many of you will see Tim Brown and the Oakland Raiders head to the Meadowlands to take on the New York Jets. And then in the second half of our doubleheader, it will be Stan Humphries, Junior Seau, and the same San Diego Chargers going up against John Elway and Denver in a key AFC West matchup. Doubleheader action, the NFL on NBC next week. Check your local listings for the game in your area. And a first down from the 18, and Bono is throwing deep. It is incomplete. The pass intended for Danon Hughes, facing the double coverage. Willie Clark and Kevin Ross converging on Danon Hughes.
And really, Steve Bono got away with one here. The rule is quarterbacks don't throw the ball down the middle if there's a free safety, a center fielder. There he comes into play. Anytime you've got a guy like Kevin Ross laying in the middle, he's in position to make the interception. Kevin Ross paid a penalty for the play that he just made. He's laying on the field.
Kevin Ross, two-time Pro Bowl player in his 10 seasons with Kansas City. After those 10 years, he spent the last 2 with Atlanta, then signed with San Diego as a free agent. Marty Schottenheimer says he is one of the best tacklers that ever played in the NFL. Kevin Ross being checked out.
That's Neil Smith coming out. Now, Neil was not taunting. Neil was coming out there to see how he was. That was an act of sportsmanship. Might not have been interpreted that way from some of the people sitting in the stands here, but Kevin Ross is considered by Bobby Ross is probably the best tackler in that defensive backfield back there, and he hit in coverage that time like a leading tackler.
3:07 remaining in the third quarter. Chiefs and Chargers are tied at 16. And it will be a 2nd and 10 on the 18-yard line. This time Bono floats one. Intended for LaChapelle, covered by Shaw. And it brings up a 3rd and 10 at the 18-yard line.
You could almost see the lack of playing time coming into this ball game by Greg LaChapelle that time. He just didn't have the spring under him to go after that ball. 2 down the field throws here, though, against the bump and run.
Eric Castle is back on the field, replacing Kevin Ross at free safety. And the crowd urging on the Charger defensive unit. 3rd down and 10. Bono. Completes to McNair. He picks up the first down. Todd McNair, tackled by Willie Clark for McNair, his 2nd reception of the game.
Good protection, but as you watch the drop, watch right here, Marco Coleman coming up the field. Marco Coleman is involved, according to Bobby Ross, 1 out of every 7 plays he's involved in the play. That's his production hit chart. That time he forced the pass to be thrown, even though he didn't get a pressure for that one. There was not much time left. He had to throw the ball when he did, or Marco Coleman was going to be a factor in that play again.
Well, they've called for the yardsticks, and I thought he picked it up. Yes, he did. Earlier we talked about the success of Steve Bono since the start of the '95 season when he became the starting quarterback. The Chiefs have gone 17-3. That's an NFL best. And among active quarterbacks, he has the best winning percentage. Steve Bono, originally a 6th-round draft pick of the Vikings. He was Joe Montana's longtime backup in San Francisco and then here in Kansas City. 2.5 remaining in the third quarter. Hill bottled up. Kansas City not able to get it going on the ground. Marco Coleman was right there to stop Greg Hill.
More of a keep him honest kind of a play. Every now and then you've got to just hand the ball off, get what you can. If you drop back or you continue to have the exact same tendencies play after play, your offense isn't going to move. Marty Schottenheimer, you see the hands on the knees. He's thinking right now. What are they thinking on the other side? The strategy right now becomes even more important because there's less time to recover as the game moves along.
A loss of 3 on the run by Hill. It's a 2nd and 13 at the 25. And Bono back to the air and is able to complete. Chris Penn looks to be short of the first down. Stopped by Clark and Castle.
An inside throw to Chris Penn. I always told my quarterbacks, when you're throwing the ball inside, you always throw as if, here's Chris, he's going to break to the inside now. You always throw the ball as if he's got arms only from the elbows out. Don't lead him too much and stretch him out. Whoa. Throw right into his body. And if you picture your arms that way, it's like having little alligator arms. Many times quarterbacks accuse their receivers of having those anyway.
Sam, I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to picture this all.
Oh, you have to be there, actually. You had to be on the field.
I see.
Paul Hackett calling the plays upstairs, talking through Marty Schottenheimer. Marty, of course, is hearing everything that's said. Can't overrule at any time. He's the head coach.
And a first down was picked up by the Chiefs. First down at the 38-yard line as this third quarter draws to a close. 1:25 remaining. And it is back to the ground, and Hill was tripped up. Junior Seau involved on that tackle.
First and 10 call. This is a run blitz. It's not a blitz to try to get to a passing quarterback. They're anticipating the run. Look at Junior's eyes now. He's not just staring at people or in space. He's reading through the offensive lineman. He reads their style of block, senses what's going to happen, and he hits his hole. Every time he makes a play, it's as if he made his first one. This is one fired up, enthusiastic football player.
And for Seau, his 8th tackle of the game. Down to 40 seconds remaining third quarter. And Bono firing downfield. It is incomplete, intended for Hughes. Aiden Hughes covered by Terrence Shaw.
Bump and run again. Anytime you double clutch, anytime you start to throw, pull it back, throw it again, the odds go down. The ball is in the air too long. The defender has a lot of time to measure the throw along with the receiver. You need to throw down the field throws on time, just like you do out patterns or slant patterns.
3rd and 13 from the 35-yard line. In the truck, you have the guy still talking about those alligator arms. You have really confused.
It's football talking.
I see.
Down the field, you want those arms to be extended. No alligator arms down there.
All right, here's Bono on the screen. It is dropped. Kimball Anders could not handle that high throw, covered by Junior Seau. And with a half minute to go in this third quarter, the Chiefs will punt the ball. The game is tied at 16. In the first half, it was a field goal duel. Things opening up here in the third quarter. 81-yard punt return by Darian Gordon for a touchdown. Gordon is back awaiting this punt at his 22. And the pass reception by Marcus Allen. He ran it for 60 yards to set up the Kansas City touchdown. Fair catch called for by Gordon, which has the crowd perplexed.
The crowd, how about Bobby Ross? I tell you, it's a tough job, though. You're standing down there, the ball, you're looking straight up. You can't look out at the coverage as it comes down. You're trying to guess and measure whether you're going to have time to return it, and if you don't think, fair catch, play is safe.
And apparently the sun had something to do with that.
Absolutely. Sun's always a good excuse.
47-yard punt. And the fair catch will set the Chargers back inside their 20-yard line with 23 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Humphries with the play fake. And then completes. Papono. Alfred Papono. Wide open. And goes for 41 yards.
The good play action fake. The quarterback is going to roll to his left and throw back to his, roll to his right, fake to his left, roll back to his right. And here comes the receiver, Papono. Cleared out down the field, a hole underneath, made sure of the catch. He looked at that ball all the way in and then double-checked to make sure it was still in his arms before he ran.
Fourth catch of the day for Papuno for 77 yards. That's the end of the third quarter. The game is tied at 16. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Back in San Diego, on to the fourth quarter. Kansas City and San Diego are tied at 16. 3 field goals for the Chiefs in the first half, 2 for the Chargers. Things have opened up. This is Hayden, stopped by Hasty. And a breakdown in terms of the pass rush stats. Looks like James Hasty is shaken up. The total, Kansas City 243 yards in all, and San Diego with 240. Neither team able to get it going on the ground.
No, but you know, we're entering that fourth quarter, and you remember Bobby Ross said to us on Friday, poise and persistence, and here's where it enters. He felt like that's what the Kansas City Chiefs have, and that's one of the reasons they are winning so many football games, and his team had to do the same thing. Here's the test. It starts right now in the last quarter.
Well, apparently Hasty is all right, and there's a Charger player down. Deems May, backup tight end, shaken up. Check of the scoreboard. Green Bay in front of Seattle. Early fourth quarter. San Francisco pounding Atlanta. Cardinals of Arizona trailing the Rams of St. Louis. Padres and Dodgers now in the 9th with no score. The winner will go on to play the Cardinals. Winner would win the National League West. And on the subject of baseball, this Tuesday in prime time, 8 o'clock in the East, game 1 of the division series. The New York Yankees hosting the Texas Rangers. That'll be game 1 on Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 in the Pacific, right here on NBC. Bob Costas, Bob Wyche, Joe Morgan at the microphone. There's Deems May back on the sideline. It'll be a 2nd down and 5 from the 35-yard line. Play action by Humphries, and able to complete. Brian Roche with his first catch of the day, a rookie from San Jose State, 3rd round draft pick, and he has picked up the first down.
We're seeing the play action, the little token fake right here. He's going to go off the right side. Well, that's going to freeze the linebacker just for a count, or the linebacker's already out there. Here's the linebacker trying to get to the flat. Another linebacker who's got another man out here. You're not getting your buzz by your backers because the running game, even though it hadn't been getting a lot of yardage, is keeping them honest.
And a first down at the 29-yard line, and yes, Aaron Hayden keeping them honest. Big hole on the right side, and Brian Washington made the stop.
Aaron Hayden looked like Leonard Russell that time. That looked like a 240-pound man instead of 218. A lot of driving. You know, the first part of any play starts up front with a blocking. Give the man a run. Beautiful hole right down the chute. And now drive, drive, drive. Oh, excuse me, I had a flashback to the practice field there for a minute.
I see. Well, Vaughn Booker was able to stop the driving Aaron Hayden. Comes up a yard short of a first down.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by the new Ford Expedition, the only way to get there. By Coca-Cola Classic, always the real thing, always Coca-Cola. And by the Principal Financial Group, for over a century, your edge in retirement, insurance, and investment products.
A 2nd and 1 down at the 20-yard line. We are early fourth quarter. And again, Hayden gets the call. And looks like he has the first down. Derek Thomas, Brian Washington combined to make the stop. A moment ago, Vaughn Booker helped off the field. Vaughn Booker played 2 seasons with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the Canadian Football League. Signed with the Chiefs as a free agent and looks to be okay. In fact, is checking back in. It is a first down at the 18-yard line. The game is tied at 16, 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. And again, Hayden gets the call. Did not make the turn. Strung out by Derek Thomas, and Thomas with the tackle. Derek Thomas missed several days of practice during the week with a pulled hamstring. He has always enjoyed playing against the Chargers. Sam, he has recorded 9 sacks in his last 9 games against San Diego.
And even though he is playing less than 100%, you're going to see him making 100% effort in this ball game, especially right now. Everything on the line.
Well, he set Hayden back for a loss of 2 on that last play. It is a second down and 12. Off the punt, Humphries throwing to Papumu. And apparently was out of bounds. It is incomplete.
You see the difference between a wide receiver who's used to catching the ball on the sideline and dropping that back foot, so 2 feet are in, and a tight end who just isn't used to that. And he's a bigger man, of course. Stan Humphries makes a pump fake, and the out and up. Good extension, makes a nice reaching catch. 1 foot, second foot is clearly out of bounds. Junior watching from the sideline, knows a big play, big opportunity was just missed.
It is a 3rd and 12. Down at the Kansas City 20. Now Humphries throws for the end zone. Intended for Tony Martin, who has had a very quiet day. The coverage supplied by the free safety, Mark Collins.
And you get a free safety covering Tony Martin. You should have the advantage if you're a San Diego Charger. He gets a good clean release with an outside move and then back inside. The blitz was on, the throw was hurried, and it was behind him.
So with a 4th and 12 from the 20-yard line, John Carney will attempt a 38-yard field goal. 3 for 3 on the day. 13 of 15 for the season, looking to give San Diego the lead. And it is good. So the Chargers 19 and the Chiefs 16. You're watching the NFL on NBC.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Call now to enjoy a hot and delicious Domino's Pizza during the game. For hot and wow, call Domino's now.
A crowd of better than 60,000. Jack Murphy Stadium, San Diego. And the Chargers leading the Chiefs 19-16. John Carney will kick off to the rookie from Memphis, Jerome Woods. Woods from his 5 muffs it and got the good bounce. Sometimes they can slow up the defense, and it did. Woods down to the 30 and is pushed out of bounds. Pushed out by Darian Gordon. Sam, how often do you see a play like that where a muff can freeze the special team defensive unit and it leads to the big game?
Well, sometimes it freezes them, and other times as they approach the ball, they start to break down. They start to bend their knees and break down so that they can recover the ball. And in doing so, if it's recovered by the returner, he just runs right by you. Let's see how it happens exactly. He's got a little bit of possession, putting it away, he fumbles it. The players around him are breaking down because they can see the loose ball, and up the middle. John Carney really makes a just enough of a slowdown move to give Gordon a chance to get over there with the angle and run him out of bounds.
It is a 62-yard return. Did not start in pretty fashion, but nice finish.
It'll look good in the paper tomorrow.
Jerome Woods taking it 62 yards, and it gives Kansas City a first down at the 29-yard line in San Diego territory. The Kansas City Chiefs with a record of 4-0. This is their first 4-0 start in the history of the franchise. San Diego Chargers coming at 3-1. Chargers with a 3-point lead off the field goal a moment ago by John Carney. Bono fires it and connects with Dale Carter, who is on offense for the first time today. Dale Carter with his 5th catch of the season. Last week involved in 4 plays of action with the offensive unit.
See the ball coming right at Carter and right at you. Makes the catch. Great hit. This guy has the hands of a receiver, even though he plays a defensive back position. He doesn't learn plays. He just learns patterns. So the quarterback would tell him what part of the play he does, the pattern, and he watches the ball snap and runs his pattern.
He picked up 8. It's a 2nd down and 2 at the 21-yard line. And it is Marcus Allen picking up the first down. Junior Seau on the stop. Steve Bono is certainly distributing the football. The reception by Carter represented the 11th different Kansas City receiver who has been able to catch the ball. 19 completions to 11 different players, and Junior Seau limping back to the sideline.
Usually aren't 11 receivers on the team to throw to. That's a big number.
First down at the 17. Bono with the time, and then goes short range to Anders. Couldn't find anyone downfield. Lewis Bush was right there, and here's Seau back on the field. Sat out a play, makes his return.
Actually, he didn't even sit out the play. He left the field, and on the sideline, he was doing coaching. He's waving at the guys, telling them to move out, widen up a little bit, and as soon as the play was over, he was on the field. He didn't wait for a coach to tell him to go back.
It is a 2nd down and 8. The ball at the San Diego 15-yard line. The 62-yard kickoff return by Jerome Woods, setting it up in terrific field position for the Chiefs. And Bono throwing for the end zone. Going incomplete, intended for Anders, who was covered tightly by the outside linebacker, Lewis Bush.
Junior Seau's on the blitz this time. Bush almost involved in a penalty. Very close, but here's Junior Seau. Watch him. He just came out because his leg was bothering him, noticeably limping. The very next play, full speed on the blitz.
It'll be a 3rd down and 8. Down to the 15. The numbers on Bono. 20 of 38. 229 yards. Bono for the end zone, and it's broken up. It appeared that Penn had it, covered by Willie Clark, and it is incomplete.
You know, games ride on big plays or big play misses or big opportunity misses. Bono looks down the field. At the last minute, he decides he's going to rifle this one in. The ball is on target. Just a good defensive play by Willie Clark. All over the man on a good throw.
Willie Clark, who had a strong game last week playing for the injured Dwayne Hopper. 33-yard field goal attempt by Stoyanovich. And it is good. Well, the field goal kickers have been perfect. So the game is tied at 19, 9:50 left in the 4th. Back in San Diego, the Chiefs and the Chargers are now tied at 19, 9:50. Remaining in the 4th quarter, Pete Stoyanovich, like his fellow kicker John Carney, 4 for 4 in the field goal department. Andre Coleman awaiting the kickoff. It's taken instead by Leonard Russell. Russell stepping in front of Coleman, and a short return, picked up only 5 on the play. Well, here's a reminder, following the game on most of the stations, it's an all-new Dateline Sunday. And then it's Third Rock from the Sun, followed by the season premiere of Boston Common and the world premiere movie, The Lottery. Viewers on the West Coast will see these shows at their regularly scheduled times. San Diego starting out at their 15-yard line. It has not been a splendid day for Stan Humphries, the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Humphries able to stand in and able to complete. Tony Martin. And a nice move by Martin. That's only his 3rd catch of the day. Vaughn Booker made the stop. Tony Martin has been a decoy for most of this second half. He did pick up the first down.
Tony Martin's going to catch this one over the middle. And we're taking a look here, though, as we watch the play unfold at the poise and persistence feature that Bobby Ross said he wanted to see his team do in the fourth quarter. We're watching it take place right here. Very careful.
And this is Leonard Russell. Stopped by Derek Thomas.
You can almost feel both teams, Kansas City just as much as San Diego, trying not to make a mistake. Now, they're not thinking that way. They're thinking about make positive plays, but safe, sure things are going on the field. Derek Thomas playing off the tight end's block. That's why he's thought of as one of the best linebackers in the game.
It's a 2nd and 12 from the 30-yard line. And
I think State just fumbled exchange.
Humphreys lost the handle and then was able to cover up.
Sometimes the quarterback will just pull away early when he's trying to get out there to a wide stretch. He never really has possession. We don't know if the ball got back to him or if he pulled out early. Got to ride that center all the way up under.
Well, the crowd reacting to the Padres taking a 2-0 lead in the 11th inning against the Dodgers. 3rd down and 12. And it is completed to Charlie Jones, but short of the first down.
That was maybe the riskiest throw that Stan Humphries has made all day long. The ball was in the air a long time, fell away from the throw, dead in the middle where a lot of people can get to it. They completed it, add some yards to the punt, as we've talked about, but still not enough for the first down. And as this game winds down, not only field position, but that time of possession becomes more and more important.
So here's Darren Bennett punting for the 5th time today, and for only the 2nd time, Tamarick Vanover is back at a 16. Bennett able to get the good hang time, forcing the fair catch, a 48-yard punt by Bennett. 7:09 remaining in the fourth quarter. A reminder tonight on Dateline, well, Johnny Cochran will be firing back at critics who say that he thought that O.J. was guilty. You can watch Katie Couric's exclusive interview. That'll be tonight on Dateline. A chat with Johnny Cochran following the game on most of these NBC stations.
San Diego defensively now has a chance to help the entire team. Field position, if they can make Kansas City punt the ball out of this backed up position and give the ball back to their offense in a tight ball game late in the fourth quarter, that's how you win.
All right, here is Bono off the roll, going sideline, and Vanover at first looking for the catch and then protecting against the interception against the defender, Willie Clark.
And Willie Clark is fast enough to close on a play like that and make that kind of interception. And he intercepted that. It's an easy walk into the end zone. Again, both sides of the ball are being very careful to make sure they don't make a mistake. If there's going to be a mistake made to win the ball game, let the opponent do it.
It is a 2nd and 10 at the 12-yard line. There's that Padres score. They lead the Dodgers in the 11th on a Tony Gwynn 2-run double. Bono 20 of 40, 229 yards. Anders stopped in his tracks, but a flag comes flying. Junior Seau up to make the stop, and again fired up and looking to get the crowd going.
I think Marcus Allen's going to get called for a hold on this one, but the Kansas City Chiefs are pointing the other way, so they overhear that discussion. Those players hang around those officials right there, listening to what's being said, and often give you the call before that's officially made.
And the call is against Kansas City.
And I believe it was Marcus Allen. He was blocking Willie Clark, who had come in to force the run. You can see
holding by the offense. 10-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal. Fouls on number 32. Repeat 2nd down.
Marcus Allen. Willie Clark, the cornerback, had come up to force the run. Marcus Allen locked on to him. The official felt he was holding on a little too long. They always give you a little, not a lot.
So 5 penalties apiece Kansas City and San Diego. Just under 7 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. The Chiefs and the Chargers are tied at 19.
Let me emphasize again, here's San Diego's defense, a chance to really be a factor in this ball game. Back up this Kansas City team. They can punt out of the end zone.
A defense coming into today ranked 30th last in the NFL. Bono running out of trouble and then just slides down inside the 15-yard line. Covered up by the left defensive end, Chris Mims.
John Perella almost made a mistake right there at the end of the play. Once the quarterback concedes the tackle, he puts his feet first and slides. No contact should be made. That's to protect the quarterback. It was a rule put in for that purpose alone. Bono runs up the middle, sees he's not going to go very much, slides. Oh, no, it was Junior Seau. Excuse me. My apologies to John Perella. Junior pulled out. There was no real hit. He was just in pursuit.
Ball spotted at the 13. It's a third down and 9. Vanover in motion. And Bono is intercepted by Seau. The pass intended for Reggie Johnson. A penalty marker, though, has been thrown. There are 2 flags that have been thrown. And the call, as you see, against the Chargers.
The call was made. The Chargers were blocking Steve Bono after the interception, and it was Sean Lee who made a dumb mistake down there. Now, if you intercept the ball, of course, you can go down and block, but you can't block a quarterback. They're going to watch you more carefully. You can't be flagrant with your block. On the other hand, let's talk.
After the interception, personal foul by San Diego, number 98. It's a 15-yard penalty. San Diego keeps the ball, first down.
Well, the key after the interception, which means the Chargers maintain possession, but not a smart play, as you say, by Sean Lee, and Junior Seau, off his second interception of the day, just flipped it into the crowd.
We're going to get a chance to see exactly what happens to Steve Bono. He throws the interception. Now he's on defense right now. The offensive team of the San Diego Chargers can block it, but the play is over. Right about now, the play is done. The whistles are blowing. You can even see the official walk by, and a cheap shot by Sean Lee. Not very smart, especially in a tight ball game, 19-19. They could have had the ball an easy knock on the door. And that's Dave Adolph giving Sean Lee a piece of his mind. That was not smart. No excuses.
Dave Adolph, defensive coordinator for San Diego, one-time defensive coordinator for Kansas City. We are just under 6 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. The game tied at 19. Chargers first and 10 at the 35-yard line. Off the play action, it is completed to Papunu. Able to break a tackle and hit out of bounds by Anthony Davis.
Remember I said earlier that it's the best combination of players that win? Well, it always helps to have in that combination a great one. And this is one of them. He's got man-to-man coverage on the tight end, crossing the field. Johnson lays underneath it. The ball slightly underthrown, but good players seem to be in the right place at the right time.
Papunu picked up 7 on the play. It is a second down and 3 at the 28. And it looked like that was deflected. Intended for Papunu. Junior Seau, 9 tackles, 2 interceptions. All this despite the fact that we've seen him come up hobbling on several occasions, still bothered by a pulled hamstring.
You know it's bothering him, and you can't shake those things that quickly. We're watching San Diego now being very careful. They're in a long field goal situation right now. They want to move it down, obviously score a touchdown if they can, but they want to make sure they don't lose any yardage right here. 2 short passes in the flat.
This is actually the first 3rd and short for the Chargers today.
Timeout, San Diego.
And the Chargers want to talk it over. Timeout called, 5:28 left. Fourth quarter, you're watching the NFL on NBC. It has been a brilliant day for perennial Pro Bowl player Junior Seau. 2 interceptions, 9 tackles. The interception a moment ago, getting the ball back for San Diego. They have a 3rd down and 3 at the Kansas City 28-yard line. Here's Humphries and completes for the 1st down to Ralph Fletcher. Stopped by Anthony Davis. 2nd catch of the day for the 2nd-year man from Wisconsin, Terrell Fletcher.
Terrell Fletcher goes in motion. They've been hitting in the flat a lot. He's going to go out and come back inside. A smart play that time. You know, you call timeout and everybody has an input. All the coaches, the players, the quarterback says something. You come up with the surest play. Now they have moved out of that area where a loss would knock them out of field goal range.
It is a 1st down at the 19, just under 5 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter. Leonard Russell battling his way, did not want to go down. John Browning, the defensive end, and free safety Mark Collins combining to make the stop. 3 yards for Russell. It will be a 2nd down and 7.
The tough part about a second effort runner is when he's running in a situation like this, everybody on the defense is trying to strip the ball.
Coming up on 4 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter. The game is tied at 19. Nice fake by Humphries and able to complete. Tony Martin. It's inside the 10. Stopped by Tracy Simeon. Beautiful ball fake by Stan Humphries to get the play going.
Both quarterbacks have done a good job with the ball handling. Watch him extend the ball, though. The ball is going to leave his body. The ball goes out, and then it pulls back in. Good block on the backside when he came back around, though. Ray Lee Johnson was there in position. The blocking scheme took care of him. Going to be a little short is my guess. How'd I do? A little short.
Very well. Just inches from the 1st down marker. So Martin now with 4 catches, 48 yards. Tony Martin came into today's game leading the AFC with 29 receptions, 6 touchdowns. He had 10 catches last week in the wild one against the Oakland Raiders, but quiet today.
Let me explain one thing that's happening. If we could look at that field, the offense is going to be standing in the infield, in the sandy part of this field. They're not going to have as much cleat to dig in as the defense. The defense could have really a better stance on what could be just a quarterback sneak.
3rd and inches. Capunu in motion, and it is a sneak. We'll have to wait for that to unravel.
I don't think he made it, and I think it was what we just talked about. The defense anticipated the snap. There was no trickery there. They got the jump on the offense. They had a better footing and held the ground. Now Bobby Ross has a decision to make. Plenty of time for Kansas City, no matter whether they kick a field goal or score a touchdown. Plenty of time for them to have a drive here before the end of the game.
This would be about a 28-yard field goal attempt. In fact, Humphries lost on that play. And Bobby Ross with the indication, very casual fashion, go for it.
And I would suspect that we'll not see another quarterback sneak. He saw what we had talked about, that the footing is such you can't just start from a dead still and push forward. You've got to get a running start, maybe even jump over the pile here. The other one, Marv, and I'll just give all the options here, is many times you can bounce outside. Everything piles up inside, and if your eyes are open as a ball carrier, you can bounce it outside.
And Harry Swain, offensive lineman, is an eligible receiver. 4th down, about a half yard, and you see the penalty markers come flying. Kansas City applauding it. They felt that San Diego tried to pull them off. Let's see.
Before the snap, false start by the offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, it remains 4th down.
It's the left guard, Eric Moten. And that was the thought of Bobby Ross. See if they could get the offside as Junior Seau looks on from the sideline. But now the field goal unit has come on, and this will be a 33-yard attempt for John Carney, who is 4 of 4. He is 14 for 16 for the season. 3:22 remaining in the fourth quarter, and Carney looking to give the Chargers the lead. It is good. It is San Diego 22 and Kansas City 19, but much time left. 3 minutes, 17 seconds. Back in San Diego, a reminder tonight on Dateline, Johnny Cochran will answer his critics, those who say he thought O.J. was guilty. Watch Katie Couric's exclusive interview. That's tonight on Dateline, following the game on most of these NBC stations. Crowd reacting now. Final score. The San Diego Padres have defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers 2-0. They sweep the 3-game series. They win the National League West. What a dramatic finish for the Padres. The crowd reacting as the score was posted up on the board. 2-0 final. Padres beat the Dodgers in 11. A terrific sports Sunday here in the city of San Diego. We have 3:17 left in the fourth quarter. Chargers lead it 22-19. Here's Jerome Woods handling the kickoff out across the 15 and spins his way across the 25, not going down. They thought they had it. Works across the 30-yard line. David Hendricks, backup safety man, able to make the stop. Good return, 33 yards for Jerome Woods.
Everybody trying to tackle that football. The turnover now, of course, is a bigger factor because there's not as much time left in the game to recover from a mistake. That's how you get those little extra yards on the drive, but they're pulling at that ball. And watch San Diego on every snap. They're going to go after the football.
You look back at this series over the years. A long-time series between the Chargers and the Chiefs that dates back to 1960. In fact, that year the Chiefs were in Dallas, known as the Dallas Texans. The Chargers were in L.A., the Los Angeles Chargers. This the 73rd meeting. And the Chiefs have won 10 of the last 12 in a regular season. Look at the scoreboard. Everything else is final. Baltimore over New Orleans. Green Bay defeating Seattle. San Francisco walloping Atlanta. Well, one other game is still going overtime. St. Louis and Arizona tied it at 28.
And Marty Schottenheimer wants to make sure every detail is covered right here. He's discussed everything with Bono. Each team has 2 timeouts. Exactly how much time is left, exactly what he wants to happen, and what he wants him to do in case something goes wrong in terms of an audible. He doesn't want to have a mistake that could back them up again. Trailing by 3, obviously, this could be 4-down territory with 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go. So he wants his quarterback to know if they start a drive, once it gets really under about 2.5 minutes, it's going to be 4 downs on every try for the first.
So the Chiefs up to the line, led by their center, Tim Grunhard, starting from the 33. As we come up on 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter, the swing for Allen. And Marcus Allen runs it out of bounds. He has a first down. He takes it for 12, run out by Eric Castle. A 33-yard field goal a moment ago by John Carney, giving San Diego the lead, and the Chiefs and the Chargers have combined, Sam, for 9 field goals. That is a new NFL record. Most field goals, both teams in a single game. Carney with 5, Stoyanovich with 4. A new NFL record. First down at the 44-yard line. And Bono could not find anyone. Off the double pump, throws it away. Nice catch.
Nice catch on the sideline, but it is a legal play. Once you get outside that tackle, throw that ball away. That's one of the details that Marty Schottenheimer just discussed with Steve Bono. Don't take any chances. We can't afford the loss. We'd rather have a 2nd and 10 than take a high or low percentage chance at trying to make something out of it. He could have really scrambled those straight ahead and made a few yards on that particular play.
It is a 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line, down to 2 minutes 50 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Chargers 22, the Chiefs 19. A draw play And a hole for Marcus Allen, who reaches out to midfield. Met there by Junior Seau.
Smart running by Marcus Allen. He could have been stopped in the backfield right there, but he's such a smooth, fluid runner that he gets right up in to the hole. Makes one man miss. Chris Mims, a big man, can't move with the same fluid action of Marcus Allen. He made some yards.
It is a 3rd and 4 at the 50. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left in the 4th. Bono stepping up and then hold down. Junior Seau with the sack. It is a one-man defensive show by Junior Seau. 2 interceptions, double figures in tackles, and he comes up with the sack.
This is the epitome of determination right there. Watch this hit. Bam! Right in his face, knocks him down and keeps coming. That's a big-time play by a big-time player. Have some fun with it, too. Why not?
And a Kansas City player is injured. Tight end Reggie Johnson. And the Chiefs cannot afford to lose any more tight ends. Keith Cash making it back today from a sprained knee. Derek Walker is still out with a shoulder problem. And now Reggie Johnson is hurt. Junior Seau with 11 tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 sack, and 2 passes defended. Unbelievable day.
He's been fun to watch by himself today. You just, as you walk away, you keep seeing the images of the many plays that he's made. This will not count as a timeout against Kansas City because it's inside the 2 minutes, or at the 2, inside the close of the ball game with an injured player, and it's not inside the 2 minutes. So the timeout is put back on. They took it off for a moment. 2 timeouts apiece for both sides, but we're looking at a 4th and 10 situation for Kansas City. They could stop it twice after this. Of course, change of possession. If they don't make the first down, we'll stop the clock.
Time remaining 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Kansas City Chiefs and the Indianapolis Colts remain undefeated. And the KC Chiefs trying to make it 5-0 off to their first 4-0 start in the history of the franchise. San Diego Chargers with a good bounce back game in terms of their defensive play. Now last week against Oakland they were able to jump out in front, and Bobby Ross mentioning he felt some of the stats were distorted because it ended up as a 40-34 game. But the week before they were beaten soundly by Green Bay 42-10. So he has to be happy with what he's seen defensively here this afternoon. 4th down and 11. Bono lost his footing, trying to recover, and then it's dropped. The pass on target, but Vanover could not hold on. He took a hit from the right corner. Terrence Shaw at a penalty marker is down.
Marty Schottenheimer's a cool customer. They went right to his defense and started coaching again.
And apparently they picked the flag up. It was thrown. Now it may have fallen inadvertently, but no penalty.
Steve Bono loses his footing just a little bit. Good protection, all-out protection by the Kansas City Chiefs. Real close call right here, but a good one. That's just good defense, good throw. That's how you want games to end, on good plays, not on mistakes.
And San Diego takes over on downs. 2:02 remaining in the 4th quarter. Leonard Russell spinning to the outside, breaking tackles, and then fumbles. The Chiefs say they have it. Russell with a beautiful spin move, and perhaps got overconfident. Put on another move and coughed it up. Recovered by Tracy Simeon of Kansas City. The Chiefs will get it back.
Leonard Russell running off to the right side. Watch Vaughn Booker off the backside, pursuing down the field. A good run, really, by Leonard Russell. But right there, think about possession of the ball. It's more important than another yard or 2. Vaughn Booker. Vaughn had his helmet right on the ball, right Here it's coming up. Bam! The ball comes loose. And we still have a ball game. Bobby Ross, knowing that holding on to that ball, possession of the ball was the most important thing. Much better, much more important than a long run.
So the Chiefs get another crack at it, starting at the 31. 2 timeouts apiece remaining, and Bono overthrows Vanover. Tamarick Vanover, in his second year out of Florida State, missed the last 2 games with a rib injury, and Bono has been looking his way.
Vanover is just moving from his slot position to the outside, running straight up the field. Actually a good idea. The ball's just overthrown. They had a hole in the zone.
It brings up a 2nd and 10 at the 31, a minute 46 remaining in the 4th quarter. San Diego 22, Kansas City 19. Bono stepping up and overthrows. Pass intended for Chris Penn.
It's a hard part of the field to get your balance to throw the football. Straight drop back pass, trying to get the intermediate to down the field throw. Not the short stuff now. They got to put it down the field a little bit. Loses his footing a little bit, and that ball, as you saw his arm, he kept his arm way away from his body, so he didn't have his true motion. That's why I went wild on him.
Bono 21 of 45, 240 yards. Picked off twice, 1 touchdown, 2nd down and 10 from the 31. A minute 40 to go, 4th quarter. Now Bono goes short range. Marcus Allen. Allen with a nice spin, again able to pick up yardage and has a 1st down, bumped out by Darian Gordon.
Smart play, just get the 1st down and stop the clock. Junior Seau right here in the middle. Let's watch him as it unfolds. He's reading the plays, reading the quarterback's eyes, who went to Marcus Allen immediately, trying to measure him, but can't quite cut back. You know, on 2 good, healthy legs, he makes most of those open field tackles.
And the 5th catch of the day for the 36-year-old Marcus Allen, perhaps the premier all-purpose running back in the history of the league. Now Bono goes the other way downfield, and it's broken up. Intended for Vanover, who is looking for interference. Well covered by the right corner, Terrence Shaw.
Terrence Shaw probably was looking for interference too. Actually, Vanover became the defender as that ball arrived. Just a straight up pattern or go pattern. Both of them trying to find the ball over each other's shoulder there, and I think Tamarick Vanover realized that he couldn't get to it, so he wanted to make sure that it wasn't intercepted. You know, in training camp, you practice that. You can't make the catch yourself. Make sure the other guy doesn't have a free shot at it.
It is a 2nd and 10 from the 43. 1:27 left in the 4th. Bono, you saw he slipped again, has the 1st down and more. Combining with LaChapelle, Sean LaChapelle, who signed earlier this week as a free agent, comes up with his 2nd catch of the day. That's good for 18. He was stopped by David Hendricks, and a timeout has been called by the Chiefs.
I'm sure that San Diego wasn't looking for LaChapelle to be the primary receiver in a crucial situation like this. Been in camp 2 days. Makes the catch, protects the ball. Timeout, Kansas City.
Down to a minute 17 remaining in the 4th quarter. The Chargers with a 3-point lead on the Chiefs. Today, the MetLife Blimp cruising the skies above Jack Murphy Stadium, powered by twin engines capable of reaching speeds greater than 57 miles per hour. Snoopy 2, the MetLife Blimp.
The Chargers, or the Chiefs right now, are saying 3 points gets us into an overtime game. We need about 12, 13 yards to do that. We've got 1 timeout. We want to save that for the field goal if we can. So they're going to try to be getting out of bounds.
Right here, it would be a 57-yard field goal attempt for Stoyanovich, who does have good range. All right, the swing pass for Allen, but he was met by David Hendricks, who submarined him. Good play by Hendricks coming up from strong safety. We come up on 1 minute remaining. A loss of 3 on the play. It's a 2nd and 13 back at the 42-yard line. And Bono's pass is caught again by LaChapelle. Using the height advantage. He goes 6'3", 205 pounds, matched up that time with Darian Gordon. It is a first down for Kansas City. The clock running, though. We're down to 37 seconds, and Bono was able to stop the clock.
On first down, you can afford to give up a down right there so that you can get yourselves together and get closer. If the pass that's going to happen right here in just a minute. They've got one timeout left, so the run is still a possibility. But they want to make sure that when the ball is caught, they're just moving closer to the field goal, and if the receiver can run it in the end zone, fine. Don't take a chance, though, in tight coverage.
All right, Sam, this will be a 47-yard attempt from this spot. Pete Stoyanovich is 14 for 19 in game time or game-winning situations in the fourth quarter. He's 4 of 4 today. Timeout is taken by San Diego. So when we resume, it is a second down and 10. Kansas City at the San Diego 29-yard line. Down to 37 seconds in regulation.
Marty Schottenheimer right now is telling Steve Bono exactly where he is on the field. You have to remind the players sometimes. You know, you think that they're right with you in the thought process. They're out there playing a football game. They forget some of the details. Field position is important. Obviously, we don't want to turn the ball. They don't want to turn the ball over right here. And handle the ball. If it's a running play, make sure that you make the handoff clean so that there's no mishap. You also reminded him he's got one timeout.
Second and 10 at the 29. And Bono throwing for the end zone, and it's broken up. Chris Penn had a shot at it off his fingertips as he was covered by Darian Gordon.
Keith Cash was wide open. They didn't cover him coming right off the ball. Had Steve Bono seen him and just popped in the ball, he would have been able to run down the middle. Little bit of jostling. Boy, it is a tough, that interference, offensive, defensive, is a tough call for the official. It's a very subjective call, and the officials try to just make it a consistent one throughout the game.
Out of 32 seconds in the fourth quarter, third down and 10. Bono facing pressure and a bad pass. He's very fortunate he was not intercepted. It was intended for Keith Cash, who was thrown off balance, and now here comes Stoyanovich. It will be a 47-yard attempt. I recall also I mentioned the success of Stoyanovich, but as a member of the Dolphins on this very same field in a divisional playoff game 2 years ago, he missed a critical field goal. This one is from 47 yards away, seeking to tie the game. Aguiar puts it down. The kick is blocked. Field goal attempt by Stoyanovich for the tie. Blocked by Troy Sankovich. Backup tackle. 6th round draft pick last year out of New Mexico State.
On a record-setting day for field goals, it came down to this. And it's not a missed field goal, it's a block. Good timing as a rusher. You try to time the placement and the kick and jump right between the placement and the center of that goalpost. Up, clean hit. Let's see what the trajectory of the ball is coming off his foot. Stoyanovich, hole looked good, the placement.
And Sam, apparently it was Mims getting credit for the block. Sankovich with the hand up. They combined, but Chris Mims with the block.
And he'll probably get a little game ball there in just a few minutes in that locker room. Big play in a ball game that was about as well played on both sides as you will see. This one was fun.
All right, we're down to 15 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Kansas City Chiefs about to suffer their their first defeat of the season. San Diego will go to 4-1. But here is another look at it.
Chris Mims, 6'5", 290 pounds. Timed the jump, and this is a part of the block is the timing. Good leap. Hand went up just where it needed to be.
Kansas City Chiefs had won 12 consecutive games against AFC West competition, so that streak comes to a close. The San Diego Chargers have defeated the Kansas City Chiefs by the score of 22-19. So Bobby Ross has to be satisfied with the defensive performance this afternoon. Next for San Diego, game in Denver next week, while the Chiefs next week will be home for Pittsburgh. And the final score, the Chargers 22 and the Chiefs 19, coming up on many of these NBC stations. Stay tuned for Dateline, including Katie Couric's exclusive interview with Johnny Cochran. We suggest you check your local listings again. That final, the Chargers 22 and the Chiefs 19. For Sam Wyche, I'm Marv Albert. We bid you goodbye from San Diego, California. This has been the NFL on NBC.